In the morning when I'm driving, I really come alive when I listen to my Ronnie, I listen to my Ronnie Q. They are rare and they are few who can compare with Ronnie Q. So grab a chair, she's coming through. She's on the air, it's time for Ronnie Q. They are rare and they are few who can compare with Ronnie Q. So grab a chair, she's coming through. She's on the air, it's time for Ronnie Q. Ronnie Q. It's time for Ronnie Q. Ronnie Q. It's time for Ronnie. In the morning while I'm driving, Ronnie, I really come alive when it's time for Ronnie. I listen to my Ronnie. Ronnie. I listen to my Ronnie. It's time for Ronnie Q. Take a seat and go meet Ronnie. Sweet, 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 sweet Ronnie. No day complete without my Ronnie. She can't be beat. Sweet, sweet Ronnie.
Grand rising, grand rising, grand rising to all of the three people who are here to support me and what I do. I appreciate you guys for being here. Red Wing Hockey, long time no see. Rudy, Arthea with Autism Homestead, holla. How you doing? I hope you guys hit the like button on your way in. Now, with Autism Homestead, what is that? Can you elaborate on what that is, or do you wish to elaborate on what that is? Everyone's welcome. Oh, hey, Miss Toby, how are you doing? If you don't want to elaborate on that, that's okay. I was just curious. I had never seen that before, but it's if you don't want to elaborate, that's fine as well. Okay, so let's get into the news. Let me get into the news. What's going on? Let me remove the kitty. Okay, the kitty is removed. So, let's go into you. My thumbnail is there. What is it? What is my thumbnail? Lord have mercy. What is my thumbnail? I think that they're going to stop cancer research at Harvard University as a way to punish Harvard University for not changing their curriculum to things that doesn't include the examination and the facts of history as it pertains to Black people. That's what they're doing with cancer research at Harvard. And the reason they're doing this is because they're racist. They're racist. And that is why That is the reason why I am trying to let you understand uh, why this is so important. This is important. This is important because where's my clip? This is my clip right here. Why is my cat still dancing? Is my cat still dancing for y'all? Okay. I thought I'd removed the cat. He who controls the past controls the future. Uh, he who controls the present controls the past. So the persons or entities or powers that control the present can control the past, as in erasing the facts of the past. So, you know, he who controls the past controls the future, as in he who fought for our civil rights and died for our civil right and know what it was prior to our civil rights. They controlled the future, and that's what they did. They did things to control our actual future. See, because I knew of the civil rights, but I didn't know pre-civil rights. I didn't know pre-civil rights. See, because somebody fought for my future. Somebody just didn't sit on their asses, not voting, voting on dumb shit, or not voting at all. People fought and died for my right to vote. So we got to control our presence, so no one else can control our future. That's what I get out of it, and that's it, and that's all. So I don't know if you guys know that he has stopped cancer research at Harvard, and Harvard does the most cancer research in the world. So news you may or may not be able to use. Thoughts about the new American Pope. My thoughts about the new American Pope. I'm not a Catholic, so it didn't. I guess it's a good thing. But he spent most of his adult life, and he's also a Peruvian citizen. I think that it is. I definitely have some material here to share with you guys. Hey, Nappy Child, Grand Rising, good to see you. Hey, Bernice, Grand Rising, good to see you. You missed the dance, and the kitty cat was up here dancing extra long. The the thing that I think about the Pope is it pleases me that already has 45, 47 in a wad. Well, at least his supporters. He hasn't come out in a wad. He came out saying how, oh, well, it's good that we have an American Pope. And they asked had he met him, or had he talked to him or something. Oh yeah, I talked to him. I don't think that there has been any reason for 45 or 47 to be contacted by the Pope. I don't think 45 or 47 was anywhere on the Pope's registry. He says he's talked to him since he's been crowned. I think that since he's been crowned Pope, he's like, oh yeah, you know, uh, any media question that he hasn't thought of, he always tries to take control of. And we're already checking into that. We should know by 24 hours. Oh yeah, they should be tried as terrorists for messing up Elon Musk car lots. Yeah, and then all of a sudden it's a policy. So I don't believe it. But as far as the Pope goes, uh, I'm definitely glad that he has been boisterous prior to saying the things that he said about people having. Oh, and I'm very very happy to hear him say things that he said regarding Vance. JD Vance, because JD Vance is always trying to, oh, well, the Pope has said, and the way I understand it is, no, the way you understand, you love your family first, and then you love your, what do you say? You love your family first. You love God first. You love your family. Then you love the people who are in your nation, and then you love the outside people who are not in your nation. So he understands it that you love the people in the United I mean, he went far to try to make it seem like a passage in the Bible. You love your countrymen first, and then you love other people, or some bullshit. I am so glad that he responded to that, and now JD Vance is all like, how dare him? And the Trump people are all up in arms, even some Catholic people. Now, I also want to talk about, as far as religion, the Christian right. Hey, Jill, Grand Rising, Lee Brand New. It is always good to see you. Uh, ordained. Hold on. Okay, so uh, the thing about this Christian right thing, you know how they seem to be all over the edge? Christian right has come to mean something akin to JD Vance equal just dumb very. Okay, the Christian right has come to mean something akin to the KKK at this point. So there has been a split from from the Christian uh, religion, because some people said they don't want to be associated with the Christian right. They want to be associated with the teaching of the word, and the way that Jesus would interpret the word, not the way that these Christian right have masturbated over the word, as it were. So we'll see how that goes. And they say that they want to bring in people who are, living their lives, voting their votes, and I think that this is the only way of Christianity that you have to follow. And they want to people to follow the teachings of Jesus more. And I think that that's very refreshing. So, in their religion. I don't think that their religion should be, you know, I, you look at some of these mega pastors and some of these mega church, some of these Christian right people who be right up in the pulpit talking about politics and, doing it right in the pulpit when they should, and if 45, 47 wants to look at somebody who should lose their what do you call it, their nonprofit, what do you call it when you don't have to pay taxes, uh, not nonprofit for church per se. He's looking at the IRS removing it from Harvard. If you're looking at it, removing it from Harvard because they won't bow down and stop teaching real facts about African American history, surely you can remove it from these church who are up here telling you about which different political person or parties or whatever to lean into, because you are supposed to remove it for that, not because of what a university is teaching. Okay, so y'all ain't helping me out. All right. Okay, so that's what I think about that. Let me go into, y'all thought, who remember what I said that this administration would start to look like? I said it would start to look like the Hunger Games because they seems like these rich people are so enthralled with caring zero uh, zero dams about the regular people, and it seems like they're trying to take so much from the regular people, and they are entertained about how the regular people would survive. They'll reward you if you win because it's a dastardly game that they have you this pool set, this cesspool that they want to leave regular people in. So it's amusing to the rich to see who can survive this. Yeah, we'll give them a prize, we'll give them a place over here with us. Yes. Okay, so there has been talk that they want to turn Guantanamo Bay into something of a this broadcast used Squid Games. I don't know what Squid Games is, so I can't concur on that. It's kind of like a Hunger Games of sort, where immigrants who want to stay in America. They get them together at Gitmo, and then they prove themselves worthy. If they're able to do anything in technology, if whatever their goods are, that would be a something that America needs. Whoever wins can get a green card or something like that. Can you imagine? They are actually. They are. This is one of the. I don't believe me. Don't believe me. Just watch. Boom, 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 boom. Tax exempt status. Thank you. I was hoping somebody would help me. Yes, that's exactly what I'm talking about. If anybody should lose their tax exempt status, it definitely should be some of these churches out here. So let's. Let me share this with you. If you are not subscribed to the Bulwark channel, go check them out. Real good channel. A lot of good information. This is in my description box. This is the first link in my description box. I'm going straight down the line, so I won't get thrown off unless y'all say something to throw me off and remind me about something different. Okay, let's hear what they're talking about.
I'm managing editor at the Bulwark, and I am joined by Tim Miller for a truly disturbing segment that we're going to talk about. But before we do that, subscribe to the feed. All right. So look, this is one of the more outlandish and gobsmacking ideas that I've seen. But apparently a memo has been sent to Donald Trump, or at least to the White House, that is outlining this idea that the United States should turn Guantanamo Bay, where we've had, prison camp, more or less. They want to turn it into a transformative, prosperous city, using a prosperous charter city to basically put immigrants into work camps, develop it into a tourism and, I don't know, like tech site, like one of these Middle Eastern cities.
An economic engine.
Yeah, an economic engine that you can also just kind of check out the Caribbean Sea.
Four Seasons Guantanamo.
There's so many layers that are so uncomfortable about this entire thing, but apparently it's gotten like the attention of the tech bro set who think it's a great idea. Tim, you read the article, you've seen the charter, or you've seen the proposal. What do you make of it?
Yeah, shout out to the folks at the New Republic for flagging this PowerPoint. Look, I want to just preface this by saying that, unlike some folks that I think the author of the TNR article, I'm not like against the idea of doing crazy new futuristic cities. No, I'm that sort of thing appeals to me as like a whatever capitalist future kind of guy. There's that California Forever city, that's very controversial, but there's a lot of center left people that like it. It's like we got to figure out new ways to break through the old red tape to build big cities. I just want to preface this by saying that I'm kind of for the concept. The execution in this case is fucking horrifying. I need to credential myself as being for the concept to talk about how insanely horrifying the execution proposal is here. And I just want to read the number one section that makes this so horrifying. That the idea
is the immigration section, right?
Yes. Okay, that it is not just for hotels and for whatever and business development, that this could be a quote immigration solution. Yeah, solution. It's just a little close to final solution for me. Just as a wordsmith.
Well,
I'd
it's
recommend
one of the
staying away
two
from
words.
that.
So yeah, it's 50% too close.
Yeah,
to
I'd
that,
stay away from that. Okay, here we go. I'm just going to read the whole thing. Guantanamo Bay could become an immigration proving ground, enabling the U.S. to safely and humanely accommodate certain migrants from high-skilled talent to asylum seekers while evaluating their contributions to the local economy and society. Those who succeed over a defined period might earn expedited entry to the mainland. What do we do? Like, what we're gonna do a Squid Game at Guantanamo Bay? We got the calipers out. We're gonna measure skull size.
They said humanely.
Okay, we're gonna see. We're gonna put them through the paces.
That's
what
like,
it's like 1 week. It's like, can you change tires? We're gonna have you change tires here. Can you wash windows?
Yeah, there was
can
a
you
line
do PowerPoints? How's your Excel?
There was a line in there where they were like, "We will be evaluating their contributions," and I was just like, oh my God, this is so dystopian. We're like,
who is doing the evaluation here? You know, we got we're sending a memo to Stephen Miller.
Yeah.
You know, that's like immigration and workforce strategy. You know, who are the high skilled people that are going to want to move to Guantanamo Bay for the Guantanamo Bay tech visa?
Well, so the idea here, I'm trying to distill it as best I can. The idea here is that they would become a sort of proving ground is their word, but basically that immigrants would want to go to Guantanamo Bay because you'd have the allure of maybe earning some sort of citizenship status that you could then take, maybe live on this futuristic Guantanamo Bay city, or I don't know, go to the United States.
You have the allure of setting yourself walking into the mousetrap, as it were. And if you were unable to prove yourself, then they could ship you off to Africa or where was it? Where else did I say they were shipping people off to on yesterday? Saudi Arabia or Africa, Saudi Arabia. And two other places, far away, so you can't come back to America. They can send you to a foreign land and just drop you off there. Let's continue.
States, but it's so messed up because you would have to prove yourself. We would only take certain migrants. We would be monitoring them, and then even then, it's not clear what kind of status they would get. They called it, quote, an ideal sandbox. Dark.
What was the movie with Jim Carrey? Was like his life was a reality show, and everybody.
Okay, so if you guys want to see the rest of this is a real idea that they have CC'd 45. Let me see, 4547's administration on.
They said that we're going to pivot from the site synonymous with post 9/11 controversies to one known for cutting edge tech. And I'm just not sure you can make that pivot that easily.
It's a hard pivot. I mean, look, it is. I guess it's on the beach of Cuba. I've never been yet. We'll see how things go over the next 3 years.
Give it time. Trump might send you there.
Give it time. Go ahead and give it hell. Again, I'm open to creative ideas. What was Kramer saying? Like interesting trades considered. Because he said to me, okay, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna fucking bulldoze the whole thing.
Right.
You know, we're gonna create a memorial. We're gonna create like.
Will they have a memorial to Khalid Sheikh Mohammed?
There'll be a nonprofit center there or something. I don't know. Probably not a memorial. Good point. But you know what I mean. Like we're gonna do something to give back, right? Whatever. And then we'll sell the land. And if somebody wants to come and build a resort there, then they could buy it. I think that probably wouldn't succeed, but like, okay. It's not like the land can never be used for anything ever, but like the government, the U.S. government, like we are going to have a government-owned, you're going to go on a government-owned vacation to Guantanamo? That's the pitch here.
Yeah.
Government-owned vacation.
Not only do you get great beaches, decent food, you can walk the grounds where Khalid Sheikh Mohammed.
I'm pretty sure they mean to go to Gitmo as Gitmo is right now. Now, understand, they are trying to make fun of the idea, like, they have this this is their satire of this idea. They're not like thinking like, well, how can this work? No, they're not really thinking, well, how can this work? If you haven't gone over to the Bulwark, it is a great channel, and I have not heard this information anywhere on any of our for-profit media, that these are the types of things that they. Now, I wonder if the person who came up with this idea could complete and whatever this idea about a new way to section out people who deserve to be in America. I wonder if they could ever win their own game. People are disgustingly cruel. Disgustingly cruel. So there's that. Curious. They didn't say what should or would happen to the people who didn't make it, who didn't make it to America. I guess they're on the next flight somewhere to some foreign country. Okay, so what do you guys think of that? No, it wasn't Peru. I covered, let me see. I covered it on yesterday. Let me find the 4 places that they were talking about sending the immigrants. Okay, I can find it real quick because it's in my description box from yesterday. Let me find it for you. The 4 places that they were talking about sending the migrants. Um, to, to, to. Uh, to the Ukraine, to Africa, to Libya, and to Saudi Arabia. Uh, I'll actually even play that for you guys so you can refresh yourself on it. Okay. Okay, let me get to. Here we go. Okay, let me share my screen with you and refresh you on the great ideas that they have to send these immigrants to. Here we are, right here. Democracy Now! If you haven't gone over there to that page, check them out. I'll drop the link in my description box.
To accept an unspecified number of U.S. deportees.
Uh-oh. Way too fast. Way too fast. I want you to hear this.
News, the Washington Post reports the Trump administration's urged the Ukrainian government to accept an unspecified number of U.S. deportees who are citizens of other countries, even though Ukraine lacks functioning airports to receive deportation flights due to constant Russian attacks. This follows reports the Trump administration is offering cash payments or political concessions to several African nations to accept deportees from the United States. The U.S. Senate's confirmed Frank Bisignano as Social Security Commissioner, an appointment labor leaders warn could lead to the destruction of Social Security. He's a banking executive with a net worth estimated at nearly $1 billion. In March, he declared, "I am fundamentally a Doge person," referring to Elon Musk's efforts to gut federal agencies.
Okay, so I just let that story play out because I don't know if you guys understood. I played clips of his confirmation, and he's a total nut job, in my opinion. He's a billionaire. Of course, he'll do the billionaire's bidding. The administration who has the most billionaires, the person who's over the Treasury, Scott Bessent, could not simply say who pays the taxes when they had a hearing the other day. Who pays the tariffs? And he sat up there and stumbled and mumbled. And well, it's hard. It's hard to understand it. And all of this lying. And he is supposed to be, the cream of the crop. He's supposed to be the cream that rises to the top. He's so intelligent. He's so educated, but he's trying to cover his ass so he will not tell what he knows to be the absolute truth, is that the people, the American people, will be paying all of these tariffs. Well, if a company wants to, just go on and pay it, and if the other nation decides to pay the tariffs, what? What? If they decide to pay the tariff, they wouldn't put a tariff on. Why would they put a tariff on that they would have to pay themselves? Excuse me? Whatever. Okay. Here we go. Let me make sure I'm sharing. I don't even know if I'm sharing my screen. Let me now there was a big announcement yesterday about an agreement that had been met. Hey, K Baron. Hey, Random. Did you guys hear about the big trade agreement that was reached on yesterday? 4547 says he's been working. He has 200 agreements already done, but there were only 180 something nations that tariffs were put on. But he said he has run the gamut of things, of nations who have been clamoring to him. It went from about 50, and then a couple of hours later it was 60, then it was over 100, and all of this, they have been clamoring. And we have a deal soon with Japan, and we have a deal soon with India, and India is fighting the whole war. The only thing they got time to worry about is this goddamn war that they are fighting with Pakistan. But miraculously, we are already close to pinning these deals. And then he's getting frustrated because there's no deals have come. Not one deal has come. He has not been able to present not one deal. And then he says something. He said, "I'm sick of you guys asking me about deals. But I'm sick of you saying that you got one coming and ain't telling us where the deal is. We have about 16 deals that are ready to go." And then somebody said, "Well, when are you going to sign the deal?" And he said, "I don't have to sign the deal. I don't need to sign the deal. They need to sign the deal with me." Well, the way a deal works is both of you have to sign. Both of you have to sign. Okay. Jimmy Kimmel dragged 47 on that trade conference call. I wish my littlest ones could be here. Child, y'all are two from the same cloth. I wish my littlest one could be here. Child, y'all are two from the same cloth. Okay. So, 4547 has no deals. He got about 16. It went from 60 to 16, or 75 or 80 to 16. And so they asked him, "Well, when are you?" "I don't have to sign these deals. They need to sign the deals." No, a deal has to be signed by both parties. And so this is the man who wrote the book, The Art of the Deal. This is the man who they want. Congress must review that trade offer. Exactly, Nappy Child. And there is no trade offer to review. Let's keep it a buck. I don't know why people think that he and because he thinks that he can wield this power unilaterally. The reason why he made it an emergency, the economy an emergency is so that he could forego Congress and put in these tariffs, because everything goes through Congress unless it's an emergency. So he made up some bullshit emergency about the economy that was doing well, to put the economy on life support. Okay, so he comes up with this harebrained idea, and he says that he is going to make a deal with the UK, and the deal is that he will give them carve outs for their for some of the things that they trade, because the UK is the only people who he could find that gets more imported from the US than the US imports from them, because the UK, while they used to have a thriving economy, a huge economy, their economy is not so huge. I'm not going to say it's not thriving. I'm saying it's not as big as it used to be. So this is one of the only nations that get more imported from the United States to them than they export to us. So, let's make a deal with them, and we're gonna carve out. It always appeases everybody when we say we're gonna carve out car manufacturings or cars that's coming over from China. So we'll do the same thing for the British. Okay, the thing is, the cars that come from the British are Rolls Royces. It's estimated that the carve out that they gave for the car industry is approximately 1,000 and something cars, not even 2,000 cars. So he comes out here and acts as if he's made such a grand deal, but the tariff on the tariffs are still at 10%. They came into the deal at 10%. They're leaving the deal at the tariff still being 10%. But he did something miraculous. He has did a carve out for the car. So let's let Lawrence O'Donnell exactly. And everybody should hail this great deal from this great deal maker. So let me share my screen. Retreating on tariff. Okay, that is the name. A confused, illiterate clown Trumps admit he's too weak to do his job. Who can pick up this phone so many times to make and they're talking about also he's talking about how Thune punked his ass and said that he wasn't going to he was not nominate that person who he wanted to have over the DC court. His attorney, the attorney who represented a lot of the January 6 people that he thought would be good to be over the highest courts in DC, and John Thune, or whatever his first name is, Tim Thune, John Thune, from where is he from? From somewhere in the country. He said, "No, I can't go with this. I can't go for that. Oh, no can do. I can't go for that. Oh." No can do, I can't go for that, can't go for that, can't go for that, can't go for that. I digress.
Twice. Once in his trade war, and once again in the United States Senate. We reported on this program last night that Donald Trump's increasing political weakness had made it impossible for him to get enough votes in the Senate to confirm his choice to be the U.S. attorney for the District of Columbia. And today, Donald Trump surrendered and withdrew his choice for confirmation to that position. And while he was at it, Donald Trump admitted, in effect, that he's just too old and too weak to do his job.
I can only lift that little phone so many times in a day.
That's how Donald Trump explained his inability to get the 50 votes he needs from Republican senators, plus the vice president, to achieve that Senate confirmation. And you know, he only had to make one phone call to get that nomination through the Senate. That would be a phone call to Republican Senator Thom Tillis on the Senate Judiciary Committee, who publicly came out and defied Donald Trump.
Okay, that's why I was thinking it was Tom. It's not John Thune. It's Thom Tillis. My bad. I was like, is it Thom Tillis? Is it Tom Thune? No, it's Thom Tillis. It's John Thune. Okay, I think it's John Thune. It's Thom Tillis. Thom Tillis said that he would not. You know, Thom Tillis was the same one who held up the budget for the Army for a long time because he disagreed with something in the Army. You know, I think that they understand if he said he's not going, he's not going. So I apologize for that.
As we reported to you here last night, because Donald Trump is now so politically weak among Republicans in the United States Senate, Thom Tillis said no publicly. I will not vote for Donald Trump's choice. And today, Donald Trump just publicly and meekly surrendered to Thom Tillis, to that one Republican senator who stood in his way, with Donald Trump saying, I can only lift that little phone so many times in a day. The single stupidest explanation a president has ever given for being unable to achieve a Senate confirmation. Today, Joe Biden appeared on The View for a full hour, taking all questions, and was always smart, sometimes wise, and always made perfect sense for the full hour, the way you would expect a president to do. Joe Biden was dignified for the full hour. Joe Biden was indeed presidential for the full hour. Imagine, if you will, Joe Biden in his presidency explaining his failure to win a vote in Congress by saying, I can only lift that little phone so many times in a day. Imagine the screaming from the White House press corps if Joe Biden had ever said anything like that. By the end of the day, Donald Trump had come up with a truly preposterous temporary appointment to that same position where he cannot win a Senate confirmation. He actually chose Fox host, 73-year-old Jeanine Pirro, to serve as the acting U.S. attorney for the District of Columbia, where she will be allowed to serve as an acting U.S. attorney for 120 days maximum and cannot serve one day longer without being confirmed by the Senate, which would never happen in her case. Here's just a sample of the thinking of Donald Trump's temporary substitute for acting U.S. attorney in the District of Columbia.
I want Joe Biden to issue a travel alert to the world. None of you are coming here anymore. We're done with everybody. There is a cleansing needed in our FBI and Department of Justice. It needs to be cleansed of individuals who should not just be fired, but who need to be taken out in handcuffs.
Jeanine Pirro, you can safely assume, will not take a single person out of the FBI headquarters or Justice Department in handcuffs during her temporary tenure. Donald Trump's other big retreat was on the world stage today. The Wall Street Journal describes it in this headline: Trump stages a trade war retreat. The Wall Street Journal said Republicans want to pretend this retreat is genius at work. Nobel Prize winning economist Paul Krugman writes, this will be smoke and mirrors, an attempt to persuade the gullible that Trump's tariffs are actually working. We can be sure of one thing. It won't lead to any significant opening of the British market to U.S. goods. Why? Because that market was already wide open before Trump stomped in. The most important thing to understand about Trump's trade war is that it's an attempt to solve a problem that only exists in his imagination. Trump's tariffs are a huge destructive attempt to fix something that wasn't broken. Unlike China, the United Kingdom is one of those countries that actually buys more from the United States than the United States buys from the United Kingdom. That's who Donald Trump announced some kind of agreement with today. Donald Trump tried to stress today how important it is to get a trade agreement with such a big trading partner as the United Kingdom. The United Kingdom was once the biggest economy in the world, but that was a very long time ago. And now the United Kingdom is a smaller economy than California. And so Donald Trump has agreed not to impose his illegal tariff of 25% on British cars imported into the United States. And you will not be surprised to know that the only actual British car maker that Donald Trump repeatedly mentioned when discussing British cars today was the kind that he used to ride around New York City in, Rolls-Royce. Of the 14 million cars sold in the United States in a year, Rolls-Royce accounts for 1,765. It is the most insignificant imported product into the United States that you could possibly think of. But that car dominated Donald Trump's thinking today.
I mean, unless somebody shows me that there's another kind of a car that's comparable to a Rolls Royce, then there aren't too many. This is a good commercial for Rolls Royce, but we're going to order a lot of cars.
Mr. President, I wonder whether you'd like to buy.
I mean, well, the last time this happened,
I would be happy to suggest a discount, obviously a very modest discount. We have to protect our profit margins.
I've had many of them, actually.
That's right. He said many of them. The gaudiest New York vulgarian of our lifetimes used to ride around New York City in a Rolls Royce before he decided as a politician that no one should ever buy a foreign car. As usual, Donald Trump demonstrated in his announcement of a return to almost normal trading status with the United Kingdom that he has no idea.
But he could not do the same thing. I talked about the baby products that come from China. One company is the largest companies that make things for children, like car seats, like strollers, and things like equipment to keep your child safe in movement and travel. He couldn't go to them and say that he was going. He was specifically asked, would he do a carve out? Well, you can't. It has to be easy to understand, and you can't just keep going in there and tinkering with things. That's what he said when it came to child safety gear. He could not carve out anything for that. No. And most of it comes from China that has the 145% tariff on it. He could not carve out anything for children. Understand. But hey, they make, yeah, I own plenty of Rolls Royces. Oh, yeah. Oh, I'm going to make it easier on the American people to get a Rolls Royce without the tariffs. How out of touch is this man? And I that's why I wanted to reiterate, he won't do it for a fucking car seat. And what is that thing that they carry the kid around in? Somebody asked me about. It's called a stroller, motherfucker. You know the shit that your nanny used to push your kids around in. That's called a stroller, bitch. Okay, so and let's see how that is going to affect the American car workers. So he wants you to feel that he did so much for car manufacturers. And what does it do for the American manufacturer? All of these tariffs that you have on cars that are coming across the Canadian and Mexican border that could have benefited from that kindness.
Idea what he's talking about, or better put, he has no idea what he's asked about. Listen to Donald Trump's answer about non-market barriers to trade and see if there's the slightest hint.
They were willing to give that in order to get other things. And you might want to speak to that, Mr. Ambassador.
Yeah, because he was unable to speak to it. He just bumbled on. But I want to get to the American, how this is going to affect the American car manufacturers. Hold on, let's get beyond this commercial.
By donating to our fight fund.
That's right. When you have no idea what the question is about, you turn to the British ambassador and you say, you might want to speak to that, Mr. Ambassador. Donald Trump just said there's quite a few of them, but he never said what they are. He never identified even one. So Donald Trump spent the day trying to protect Rolls-Royce. And he did protect the market for Rolls-Royce in the United States. The American automobile industry, though, is disturbed that Donald Trump is more concerned with his friends in the United States being able to buy Rolls-Royces at their usual price instead of the survival of American automobile manufacturers. Today, the big three U.S. automakers issued a statement saying they are disappointed. Quote, the U.S. automotive industry is highly integrated with Canada and Mexico. The same is not true for the United States and United Kingdom. We are disappointed that the administration prioritized the UK ahead of our North American partners. Under this deal, it will now be cheaper to import a UK vehicle with very little US content than a USMCA compliant vehicle from Mexico or Canada that is half American parts. This hurts American automakers, suppliers, and auto workers. We hope this preferential access for UK vehicles over North American ones does not set a precedent for future negotiations with Asian and European competitors. And there you have it. British cars imported to the United States as of today have been given a huge advantage over American-made cars by Donald Trump's unilateral manipulation of his own illegal tariffs. Donald Trump said that what was announced in the Oval Office today is a trade deal. That is a lie. There is no trade deal with the United Kingdom because of what happened in the Oval Office today. It is simply a rogue president violating American law on tariffs, declaring that he is going to violate that law in a different direction when it comes to the United Kingdom, and only the United Kingdom. There are a number of solid lawsuits out there in federal courts tonight claiming harm from Donald Trump's tariffs to American importers and arguing to the courts that Donald Trump's tariffs are illegal and unconstitutional. And the United Kingdom knows this. They know that nothing will be written into American law that they have discussed with Trump negotiators. They also know that federal courts could completely throw out everything that Donald Trump's team has agreed to because they do not have the legal authority to agree to it. Only Congress could make what Donald Trump is talking about the actual trade law of the United States. And nothing
Period, point blank. Hello, binge thinker. Thank you for joining me. Random. I just dropped a link above you. Trump girls only need two dolls. Okay. Ivanka, his great Ivanka, he doesn't want her playing with dolls. He want her playing with balls as she sits on Papa's lap and he objectify her. Buy now, little guy, sell later. I only want 5 when all is said and done. Okay, so all right, Random. Have a good night. Get you some rest, Random. Okay, so let's now let's get to the Pope. Let's get to the Pope of it all. So let me share some of the commentary that has gone on about the back and forth and the text messages that the Pope had prior to him being appointed as the Pope and all of this, J.D. Vance of it all. Let's have a gander about this. Let me present my screen. Yikes. The new Pope triggers, what is it? Where is it? Triggers MAGA. Yikes. The new Pope triggers MAGA into total public meltdown. Why? You want to know why? Let's find out.
Was for open borders in the United States and kind of took pot shots. I mean, when you look at his Twitter feed, you know, he was for open borders in the United States and kind of took pot shots at J.D. Vance and the Trump administration. But look, all popes are going to support migrants, support the poor, support peace. That is, their heart goes out to humanity. That's with the job. Jesus would do the same.
All right, friends, this is a pretty fun follow-up to a video we did earlier today about the proclamation of the new Pope, Leo XIV, whom I have been occasionally catching myself calling Louis XIV, French king. Leo XIV, an American, the first American Pope, who has repeatedly publicly criticized Donald Trump, J.D. Vance, and the Trump administration. And in response, MAGA is publicly freaking out. They are triggered. The reactions are still coming in. MAGA influencers and celebrities lashing out. How dare the new Pope criticize his boss, God Emperor Trump? It's hilarious. But before we unpack all that, if you end up liking this video and you want to support the channel, please be sure to hit the like, subscribe, and alert bells before you go.
Celebrate Paleo Valley's birthday sale and get 30 sticks for only $36. If you're someone who cares about healthy...
All right, friends, we're going to get to this. Mediaite has done us the good service of collating and gathering so many of these reactions. We're going to take a look at it. Marxist Pope, MAGA world completely loses it over Leo XIV's anti-Trump tweets. We will get to that. But first, I want to show you some clips of Trump being asked about the Pope, including at one point where he just seems to like blank out, like visibly glitch and not even comprehend the question. But we'll start with this one.
Are you planning to meet the Pope in the near future?
Mr. President.
They've already called. When is that? Do you have a time?
They have already spoken to us. We'll see what happens. But again,
we've already talked. They've already spoken to us for what? We've already talked. Okay. Let's see.
To have the Pope from the United States of America, that's a great honor. That's a great honor.
I agree. It is. But I wonder if his like half-hearted enthusiasm is because he's heard about the things that this Pope, this pontiff, the Holy Father has had to say about Trump. Here's Trump also being asked a separate, slightly different question about the papacy and Pope and AI-generated blasphemous art, in which, again, he seemed to visibly glitch out at the question.
Who are you guys on?
You regret the image of yourself posted on social media dressed as the Pope.
What's next?
Remember, he retweeted that.
Yeah, we remember, and he ignored the question as if it wasn't a valid question. What's next? You have nothing to say now. You thought it was cute now. After people said how disgusting it was, and after so quickly after the real Pope had passed away, he thinks he can be anything and anybody. He lives in a world of delusions that everything that he thinks is cute, that he thinks that he is the be all end all and it can hold any position because ignorant people have voted him in back a second time after his first term, or sat on their asses and allowed him to be voted in.
Image of AI generated image of Trump as the Pope. It pissed off a lot of Catholics, including a cardinal who went viral condemning it. Trump just, I don't know if he was just afraid, didn't comprehend the question, clearly doesn't want to respond. So let's get to MAGA's reaction. It's glorious. And again, the reactions keep coming in. I can't imagine what it's going to be like in 24 hours. So Pope Leo the 14th. Pope Leo the 14th. See, I almost thought I said Louis the 14th. Pope Leo the 14th social media presence is causing quite a stir. Shortly after news broke that he had been selected as the new pontiff, observers began scouring over his X account for clues as to his leanings. It wouldn't take Sherlock Holmes to decipher them. His last post on the platform was a retweet that read, as Trump and Bukele use the Oval Office, feds illicit deportation of a U.S. resident. Once an undocked Salvadorian himself, now a D.C. DC says, do you not see the suffering? Is your conscience not disturbed? How can you stay quiet? A few posts down, Leo the 14th shared articles about J.D. Vance's explanation of Ordo Amoris, one of which bore the headline, J.D. Vance is wrong. Jesus doesn't ask us to rank our love for others. And we actually read that article that Pope Leo retweeted. We read that article in the previous video. We're not going to do it again, but again, here's an excerpt. As a result, Trump's most faithful fans online are not taking the new Pope especially well. This is the new Pope, wrote Laura Loomer. His name is Robert Prevost. He's the first American Pope. He is anti-Trump, anti-MAGA, pro-open borders, and a total Marxist, like Pope Francis. Catholics don't have anything good to look forward to. Just another Marxist puppet in the Vatican.
Now, do understand that this is the same Laura Loomer who had to push out Mike Waltz. You know, Mike Waltz of Signalgate. He was over, not Homeland Security. I always want to say Homeland Security. He was over some type of security. And what was he over? Not Homeland Security. Let me Google. I always have to Google what Mike Waltz was over. He was. It's no longer up here. The National Security Advisor. Yes, the same Mike Waltz. She is the one who got Mike Waltz outed, because she said that he was not loyal to 45-47, and she got a couple of more people fired as well in the National Security Advisory Office. So this lady has a lot of power, and she's a whole loon, a whole admitted racist. This is the one who is saying this about the Pope. Who is she? Okay, let's continue.
It's one of Donald Trump's top advisors. She got Mike Waltz shit canned. Let's see. Quote, also from Laura Loomer. The new Pope once retweeted a post about how we need to keep praying for career criminal and drug addict George Floyd. The tweet said, quote, may all hatred and violence and prejudice be eradicated. What prejudice? Is that another way to spell fentanyl overdose? Marxist Pope at Dr. Prevost. Now, again, Scripture would tell you that.
Now, she even added him in this post. Can you imagine? Can you imagine? Okay.
It doesn't matter if George Floyd was a drug addict or a career criminal. You would still pray for this. But you're supposed to pray for your enemies, right? So Even if everything she said about George Floyd was true, it doesn't matter. According to scripture, the Pope's response was the correct one. Let's see here. Sean Davis, according to his X/Twitter feed, the newly selected Pope trashed Trump, trashed Vance, trashed border enforcement, trashed Dreamer-style illegal immigration, endorsed Dreamer-style illegal immigration, repeatedly praised and honored George Floyd, and endorsed a Democrat senator's call for more gun control. Megyn Kelly, formerly of Fox News, says, is it too much to hope that some 20-year-old ran the new Pope's X account and he never looked at it? Charlie Kirk speculated that Leo XIV might have been chosen because the conclave wanted, quote, a voice that is also for the opening of American borders, while we have Donald Trump. They appointed a left-wing pope quote, they appointed a left-wing American pope to counter rising national populist sentiment and movements like MAGA who champion them, submitted MAGA pollster Rich Barris. You can find many of these seeming to support what Sean and others have claimed. They appointed a left-wing American pope to counter rising nationalist populist sentiment and movements like MAGA who champion them. U.S. Catholics actually side with Trump/Vance. Matt Wallace, a Rumble star with 2.3 million followers on X, had a bona fide meltdown. Amazing things happening on the MAGA online so far right now. I was considering becoming Catholic, not anymore. Born and raised Presbyterian. Catholicism is beautiful, though, and I went to a Catholic school as a kid. It's too bad they're no longer what they used to be. The new pope is an anchor baby from Peru who supports mass migration to the West. We are screwed. Quote,
the new pope is an anchor baby from Peru. The new pope is actually, from what I understand, is actually from Chicago, who has dual citizenship in Peru because that's where he was placed as not a chaplain, as he was placed in Peru, and he spent so much time in Peru that he got a dual citizenship in Peru. So make it make sense. He's an anchor baby now. These are the people who has a numbnut sitting in the White House, who is ruining our economy, who is going to have our shelves empty, who is going to have us paying more for everything that we buy because we create absolutely nothing, because we need to create more in America. Where were you guys when they were sending all of our jobs over to China in the first place? All of these quite a few Democrats let them ship our jobs over as well. How come they're not mad at the corporations, but they're mad at poor people and immigrants and licking the boot of billionaires who don't give a shit about you. If they gave a shit about you, we wouldn't have lost all these jobs over to China, so they can have more money to put in their coffers and their shareholders' coffers. Make any of this make sense? Because it doesn't.
The new pope is anti-MAGA, declared Grace Chong of Steve Bannon's War Room show. Prevost is the guy Pope Francis wanted to succeed him. We may be cooked, mused
Now
Babylon
the dead pope is he wanted this guy to come after him. She's telling you that this is who the pope who just died wanted to follow him. First of all, how would you know, bitch? How would you even know? None of this makes sense. This is what these deranged people are out here saying about the actual Pope, because he disagreed with their king.
Be editor-in-chief Kyle Mann.
Their king who has no moral compass whatsoever. And that lets you know that these people have none either. He stands for absolutely nothing but self-preservation. And they're sitting around him like they some plastic wrap that is going to help preserve him as well. Because that's all they are to him. Something to help preserve him, and as he only looks to preserve himself.
quoting, or rather providing a screenshot of the Pope retweeting prayers for George Floyd. Again, so much of MAGA claims to be Christian, right? Deeply Christian, deeply following of the principles and teachings of Jesus. Well, Jesus would have also prayed for George Floyd, so I'm not sure what the issue is, because they don't like Jesus's teachings. But wait, there's more. Bonchi, who's, if I remember correctly, has also caught a lot of shit here lately for criticizing Donald Trump, I believe, on tariffs. The dude was retweeting James Martin, perhaps the most radically left-wing Jesuit in existence. Rough scene. Cernovich, sorry, Catholics, this new pope is an open borders globalist. He will be pushing for abortion soon. This isn't a guess. You can scroll his X account and see what he's been up to. Will Chamberlain, whom, and I'm excited to see this on tomorrow, Friday, Will Chamberlain, a MAGA nut job, debated friend of the show and my Live and Learn co-host Pisco, and was reportedly humiliated by him. I'm looking forward to seeing it in action. But that loser had this to say: were there really no papal candidates available who hadn't publicly attacked both the president and vice president of the United States? Well, again, if Pope Francis...
Is that the qualifier? Is that the qualifier? That you cannot insult these numbnuts. J.D. Vance, a overt follower of Nazi lovers on his Twitter feed. We've covered that story. And are you serious? Is that the qualifications? And of course, 45, 47, a whole idiot.
This had died under President Biden, and the new pope had been a conservative who attacked President Biden and Vice President Kamala Harris. Well, Chamberlain wouldn't be saying this shit. So again, it's just pure partisan outcome for him. I know I have plenty of Catholic followers. I hope that Leo XIV is a great pope and a wonderful steward for the Catholic Church. But seriously? An American who publicly criticized Vance and Trump and immigration in his few public statements? Really? What? The Pope has to be MAGA. The Pope has to recognize that he serves God Emperor Trump. Like, you can't criticize people that I like.
Okay, so you can catch the rest of this in my description box. Okay, 45, 47, just reduced the tariffs on China from 145% to 85% because he's going over there to, they were thinking that it would be 50% because he's going over to Switzerland to meet for the first time with China. And they were thinking that it would probably go down to 50. Thank you, Nappy Child, for telling me that. Now, China was going over there to Switzerland anyway. And when 45, 47 found out, they hastily contacted China. China wasn't calling for them. China over there to do their own shoring up business for their companies. And then here come Americans. Can we come too? Hey, while you over here, can we meet with y'all too? So America is chasing China. Let's be clear. America is chasing China. And then I thought that they said unless China stopped being hostile, nothing would go down. So is that was stop being hostile to let you embarrass yourself going around the world chasing China when you said that China should be coming to us, and they did not? They absolutely did not do anything to other than mock and tease you and J.D. Vance for being the idiots that you are. That's all China did. China going about their business. The United States, 45, 47 is going to Dubai, Qatar, and the UAE to shore up his crypto deals that he has to make money. Let's be clear. He's sending his sycophants over there to cut a deal with China. See, he making his own money this weekend. America be damned. Y'all go over there and see if y'all can dig us out of this hole I put us in. Okay. Andrew Joseph, the PWC. What is the PWC? The Palestinian Worship Church. Get a shave, maggot. Okay. Stick to cock ring, mic down your throat. Okay. Oh, I am so insulted, Andrew Joseph. Oh, you really hurt my feelings, Andrew Joseph. Oh, Palestinian Worship Church. So I guess you're the Genocide Worship Church, Andrew Joseph. I guess that you like starving children, Andrew Joseph. I don't even know what a Palestinian is, other than they're being wiped off the earth by Israel. That's the only thing I know about Palestinians. The fuck out of my face. So tell us the joys of genocide, Andrew Joseph, since you're here. No, I don't have mics down my throat. Actually, I have my husband down my throat. But go ahead. Absolutely nothing. Okay, so let's continue. Okay, let's continue. What else do we have here? Let's go to, I think we have Chris Matthews. Not Chris Matthews. What is Chris? Chris, what's his name? Here we are. Chris Hayes, Chris Matthews. Okay, let's see what Chris Hayes has to say about the new pope.
I'm Chris Hayes, and we have a new pope. He's from Chicago. Yes, America. We have a pope named Bob, and he's a White Sox fan. Cardinal Robert Prevost, the first American pope, will take the name Leo XIV. He was selected on the second day of voting for the conclave, where cardinals from around the world gather in the Vatican, the Sistine Chapel, to elect a pope to lead the 1.4 billion Catholics worldwide. It's a scene fresh on the minds of many people around the world who, of course, watched last year's Academy Award-winning film Conclave, which portrays a fictionalized account of this process. In fact, Politico Europe reports many cardinals themselves watched the film in preparation for the actual proceedings. The real conclave started yesterday, and that vote ended without a consensus, signified, of course, by the black smoke billowing from the Vatican. But then this afternoon, we got a different sign.
As we watch this go, oh, white smoke, we have a pope. We have a pope. The cheers are coming up. Do we hear the bells ringing? One of the things that has happened is that because it was difficult to tell white smoke from black smoke, they instituted the ringing of the bells. But now, on day 2 of this conclave, the Catholic Church, 1.4 billion Catholics, we have a new pope.
The future of trading is here on Robinhood. Purpose built for how you trade. Execute your strategies with tools designed to make trading more intuitive.
The white smoke, the original push notification, the original breaking news banner that we have a new pope, Leo XIV of Chicago, Dalton, Illinois, in the South suburbs, to be precise. He's got kind of a fascinating history. The son of an educator and a librarian. He was raised on the South Side as part of the St. Mary of the Assumption Parish. Like Jalen Brunson and Bradley Cooper, he attended Villanova University near Philadelphia, where he studied mathematics. But despite being the first American pope, Leo remains something of an enigma to many within the American church. That's because he spent 2 decades in Peru. He was working in the country's poorest enclave, first as a missionary and then as archbishop. In fact, he loved his time in the country so much, he actually became a naturalized citizen of Peru. Leo was something of a disciple of the previous pope, Pope Francis, seen there together, who elevated him to cardinal back in 2023 before appointing him to lead the dicastery of bishops, which is a very influential position within the Vatican in Rome, in the church. Now, there's a kind of tendency that happens for those of us outside the Vatican to read everything in the church's politics through the prism of our own, which is somewhat understandable. That said, we should be really clear. The internal logic of a papal conclave, like why someone got chosen, is notoriously inscrutable. It's sort of meant to be. All that said, it certainly seems to be the case that Pope Leo shares a certain disposition with his predecessor, his beloved predecessor, with a particular appreciation for Francis's willingness to break with some traditions of the past.
Francis is not afraid to rock the boat a bit, to shake things up. And when he does that, there are people who are uncomfortable. We all have different personalities, and we all have kind of different ways of, wanting to keep the boat calm and please don't rock the boat. Please don't do that. And Francis is like, you'll be all right.
Pope Leo also seems to share a good deal of the kind of driving force behind what, to me, was Pope Francis's theological vision, a kind of embedded earthy universalism, solidarity with all people, but especially the most vulnerable among us, the folks at the margins, the migrants, the very poor, those incarcerated, those displaced by war, regardless of nationality, perhaps even regardless of faith. Now, Pope Leo rose through the church as a member of a particular order, as Pope Francis had through the Jesuits. This is the Order of St. Augustine, which promotes a strong sense of community, as well as a foundational belief in caring for the poor and vulnerable. To that end, a lot of folks picked up on a tweet that then Cardinal Prevost posted back in February, just of this year, that shared an op-ed that was sharply critical of the Vice President, J.D. Vance, a Catholic convert. Specifically, it took issue with Vance's attempt to use Catholic doctrine towards his own version of nationalism.
There's this old school, and I think it's a very Christian concept, by the way, that you love your family, and then you love your neighbor, and then you love your community, and then you love your fellow citizens in your own country.
The statement that I was listening for. That's what he said. That's how he dissects the Bible. This is how you're supposed to love people in your lives. Let's not forget, it was hours later after this meetup that this Pope found himself unalive. They like to pal around with Putin. Was this the death touch of this Pope? Makes you wonder.
There's this old school, and I think it's a very Christian concept, by the way, that you love.
There's this old school. What school is this? An old school, and you think it's Christian. So no, it's neither. There's facts and there's fiction. That's why these people do not want you to know the real history of Black Americans, because they can recreate history. There's this old school, I think it's Christian way of thinking. Really, bitch? If you don't know your history, you're doomed to repeat it. Now let's listen to this bullshit.
There's this old school, and I think it's a very Christian concept, by the way, that you love your family, and then you love your neighbor, and then you love your community, and then you love your fellow citizens in your own country. And then after that, you can focus and prioritize the rest of the world. A lot of the far left has completely inverted that. They seem to hate the same.
Inverted what? You inverted it to even come up with it. You think that a lot of left people has converted that to what? You were the one who came up with this bullshit. There's no such thing as this. So now all of a sudden, since the left don't agree with your fairy tale that you just pulled out of your ass, and now it's something egregious about the left, this bullshit that you're spouting, that has no place in the actual way that any of this work, you can't. I think it's religious. You think so? Well, prove it. Show me where it say that at. You ain't got to think about it. Just show it to me. A whole bunch of poppycock, as they say. So this is a statement that they are so mad that the Pope had come back and stated what the Christian values actually are, in who and what order of people you are supposed to love. This is what they're mad about. Because the Pope corrected him on this bullshit lie. One more time. I want you to hear this shit.
Towards his own version of nationalism.
There's this old school, and I think it's a very Christian concept, by the way, that you love your family, and then you love your neighbor, and then you love your community, and then you love your fellow citizens in your own country. And then after that, you can focus and prioritize the rest of the world. A lot of the far left has completely inverted that. They seem to hate the citizens of their own country and care more about people outside their own borders. That is no way to run a society.
It was in response to those remarks that the man who is now known as Pope Leo.
And see, the thing that he did not say, he said, and then you can worry about people outside of your country. He never said you can love them. Did you notice that he never said that you can love people outside of your country? You can love this, you can love that, and then you love the people in your country, and then you can deal with the people outside of your country. Never saying you can love them. But when he's talking about the left, I think the left, they love people outside of their country and they despise their own people. So what are you saying? If you're saying that we're doing the inverting of it, so what you're saying is that you love people inside your country and you hate everybody else outside your country? I think that's exactly what you're saying.
To hate the citizens of their own country and care more about people outside their own borders. That is no way to run a society.
It was in response to those remarks that the man who is now known as Pope Leo shared this headline. He didn't write it, but, quote, J.D. Vance is wrong. Jesus doesn't ask us to rank our love for others. This, of course, is an interesting position for the church to be in. And I got to say, point of personal privilege here, someone raised Catholic. My father was actually a Jesuit seminarian from the Midwest who was in Peru at a period. I've got very complicated feelings of frustration and affection for the church. I'll be the first to admit in many ways it can be deeply flawed. It's often a reactionary institution. But for me, what was so striking about the stewardship of Pope Francis, which I really found inspiring, which is that while he didn't really change any of the core teachings of the church on matters that I personally don't agree with, sexuality and gender, reproductive choice, his public ministry, how he chose to delegate his attention, was centered on the parts of the Catholic tradition that are about care and care for the poor and for the marginalized. And also, Jesus is urging us not to judge people too harshly, right? That commitment was symbolized in his final acts. For instance, I don't know if people saw this little detail, but he had about, I think, 200,000 euro in his personal bank account, and he left that money to the incarcerated, to prisoners who he visited and ministered to often, even washing their feet often. Also, one of the things he asked is that the Pope mobile that he used be turned into a mobile clinic for those in Gaza. In fact, Francis's commitment to Gaza was so strong that he called his congregation there nearly every night. There's pictures of him talking to them on FaceTime as they sheltered in a church. And the reason that Francis really became a global icon for so many people across the world, including, frankly, many who were not Catholic, is because of the just obvious evident sincerity of that care and that vision of universalism. Speaking in his personal capacity, he once suggested he likes to believe hell is empty, for example, that all people on this earth can find redemption and see the light of heaven. And that view, very deliberately, was a global one. It was a rejection of nationalism and isolationism, a refusal to limit or tier our care only around the borders of a country. And in this respect, it does, as far as we can tell, appear Francis' successor shares that view, which finds him fundamentally at odds with the nationalism of Donald Trump and J.D. Vance. Of course, last week, our president half-jokingly floated himself to be the new pope, sharing this AI-generated image of himself as the head of the Catholic Church. And I have to say, like, it's a high bar for me to find something offensive on behalf of the church, but I found that offensive. Many people did.
Okay, so this link is in my description box if you want to. I think that's, I just wanted to, that's how I familiarize myself with the Pope. Excuse me. Come here. Come. That's how I familiarize myself with the Pope. Just tell a lie and repeat it often enough. Propaganda 101. You love humanity and nature. Don't harm anyone. Okay, so yeah, so that's where I got my understanding. Because I'm not Catholic, I didn't go to any Catholic churches. I don't know any Catholic principles, but I do know Christian principles. And you know, I call a thing a thing. Let me stop sharing this. I want to. I'm a new fan of these women. I want to share a little bit. Oh, let's have a commercial break. How about a commercial break? Let's get something from the Lincoln Project. A nice little commercial break. The Trump crime family. How about that? I'll let you guys watch this commercial.
Your task will not be an easy one. Your enemy is well trained, well equipped, and battle hardened.
There is not a liberal America and a conservative America. There is the United States of America.
Good night and good luck. Hey, everybody, it's Rick. Welcome back to the Lincoln Project podcast. Folks, the elephant in the room today is the Trump crime family. Oh, you think, Rick's exaggerating. The Trump crime family. How dare you, sir? How dare you compare the Trumps to that scoundrel Hunter Biden? Well, add up everything Hunter Biden did, got a couple of board seats, sold a couple of paintings, and it's about total value, I don't know, about 1/1000th of what the Trumps pulled in on just one scam. Folks, Donald Trump's Bitcoin business, his Bitcoin shitcoin scam business, is the most ludicrous and open and venal corruption we have ever seen in a White House, bar none. There's no comparison. There's nothing close. We talked about this before, but it makes Teapot Dome and Credit Mobilier and Jack Abramoff and God knows what else look like fucking amateur hour. These people are engaging in the worst possible crypto scams you can imagine. 58 people made hundreds of millions of dollars in the first minutes of the Trump crypto scam. 768,000 people lost all their money, or a meaningful fraction of it. Same story with Melania's crypto coin scam, only at a smaller fraction. A bunch of people made about $100 million, and everybody else lost money. Everyone else lost money. You see now that people are buying Trump coin to bribe him overtly. A trucking industry group today or this week announced they were going to spend $25 million on Trump shitcoin. They don't believe in crypto. They don't believe in that it has any intrinsic value. It's a meme coin. It's a joke. But they realize that's the way to pay a bribe to Donald Trump. So they're doing that. They went out and borrowed money on the market to borrow $25 million to invest in Trump shitcoin. By the way, that didn't happen in a vacuum. Somewhere, somebody out there in the Trump extended universe said, oh, hey, this is a really good idea, a way to show your support for the president. Other people are doing the same thing. Why do you think Uday and Qusay are over there in the Gulf? Yes, it's to do their scammy business deals with a bunch of various emirates and satrapies. Satrapy is a great word. Satrap is its origin, of course. Great underutilized word in this day and age. But they're also over there to send the clear signal. Buy our crypto product, and the boss will know it's you. You will be taken care of. You will get the benefits of your investment, e.g. your bribe to Donald Trump, because that's what this is. This is the most obvious and ludicrous mechanism for a bribe in the history of American politics. This isn't Bibi Rebozo helping Richard Nixon out. This isn't some Jack Abramoff, let's go to a steak dinner, pal idea. This is an industrial scale scam. And it's hateful because of it runs in two directions. The first reason it's...
And let's not forget that 4547 is also going to have some crypto event while he is over at either in Qatar or the UAE. Let's continue.
Awful and hateful and shitty. It's because it shows a presidency for sale. And at this point, if you're the Russians or the Chinese, why don't you just buy it? There's plenty of Russian oligarchs who would dump $100 million into that tomorrow and say, hey, Donald, we need we paid our bid. We need our favor now. And Trump will go out and say, nuking Ukraine sounds great, lad, or what have you. And by the way, if you don't think these things are going to be as obvious as go ahead and nuke Ukraine, Vlad, I have much real estate to sell you. Once again, the aforementioned dinosaur-laden island in the Pacific. But this is the family scam. This is a crime family. These are criminals. The reason it's so hateful, so unbelievably shitty, is not that he's taking money from various Gulf powers or various special interests or various individuals who want to pardon or want a deal or want a favor or want preferential legislative treatment. It's that he's also screwing the people who believe in him at the base. If you're a small investor and you bought Trump coin, if you're a regular person in America and you somehow said, I'm going to buy Trump coin. Why'd you do that? I'll tell you why you did it. You did it because at some level, you really, really, really believe in Donald Trump. At some level, you just love this guy and you wanted to say, I want to be closer. I want to be more in. I want to show my tangible support to my president. And what'd you do? What happened? Did it go up like Bitcoin? No, it didn't. You know what happened? It's now worth nothing. You would have been better off buying Trump-branded Beanie Babies as an investment vehicle. You'd have been better off buying Trump-branded Pogs as an investment vehicle. This valueless coin has only the value to shovel bribes to Donald Trump and for the Trump crime family to collect management fees and transfer fees through the crypto exchanges that they use. So when I hear Republicans, as they did for years, howling, oh, Hunter Biden's so corrupt. Hunter Biden sold his paintings and people bought his paintings, and Donald Trump's corruption and the corruption of his children. And by the way, the moment of this corruption stretches all the way back to when the Chinese started issuing patents to the Trump crime family, Ivanka, Donald, the whole cataclysmic array of these dipshits. And the transactional nature of Trump was very clear. There's a reason Jared Kushner got $2 billion in investment funds for his investment private equity firm he launched.
$2 billion from the Saudis for a private equity company that hired all of his college friends who had not gone to college for private equity, and none of them were experts. This was a brand new venture for all of them. So if anybody get out of college and they don't even study private equity, are they expected to be flush with $2 billion in cash? And everybody acted as if they didn't even see that happen. So go over there. Let me drop the link for the Lincoln Project. If you're not subscribed to the Lincoln Project, you are really missing out. Here is the link to the Lincoln Project. And I'm going to put this link in my description box as well. They do great work and they are very informative. So I hope you guys go over there and check them out. Let me add this right now. Okay, the Trump is under the Trump crime family in my description box. Now, these two women I find very entertaining. The name of their channel is iHip News. Let me find them and let's see what they are talking about. Okay, if you guys are not familiar with this channel, let me go. I've Had It. That is the official name of their podcast. It's on iHip News, but the actual name of their channel is I've Had It. And very entertaining ladies. I love to see them talk on things. So let's hear what they have to say about the muskrat. Hold on. Let me get past this commercial. I ran across this yesterday, so I want to share this with you guys.
It has been so nonsensical and such an unforced error. People have. Trump's tariff policy has been so nonsensical and such an unforced error. People have tried to figure out, why is he doing this? Well, all the chips are falling into place. And now we know exactly why he's doing this harebrained economic faceplant. Put up the headline. We've obtained internal cables showing how the U.S. government is pushing countries facing tariffs to clear way for Musk's Starlink. So this whole thing is another play for Musk. And I thought this makes a lot of sense. So Musk invested $290 million to get Trump elected. And he had a to-do list, an agenda, shut down investigations into himself, award himself contracts. And that deals with his domestic issues. But now he has international issues because he wants to be the most powerful man in the world with all the biggest toys. And so he convinces Trump with all of these other sycophants to do this tariff nonsense faceplant, and now they're using Starlink as a negotiating tool.
This surprises me zero. And what's interesting in my mind is Elon Musk is crying around about Tesla and poor me, poor me. And I'm like, dude, you have gotten everything you've wanted. You're no longer facing corruption charges. You're awarding yourself the contracts. And now you have the United States of America doing your bidding on Starlink policy. So instead of being a little bitty crybaby, shut the fuck up.
But you know, isn't that the thesis sentence of MAGA? And these men are the biggest whiny bitches I have ever seen in my life. I mean, it literally is like a reality show, like on Bravo, but it's all these men with their, smoky eye, orange makeup, Elon Musk with his hair transplants, all this gender affirming care. And then they tell all the rubes and all the Fox News freebasers, oh, you can't have nice things because of trans people. You can't have nice things because these are very corrupt people causing generational damage. And they lie. They constantly lie to the American public. Elon Musk bought Twitter under the guise that he was a free speech absolutist. It was all bullshit. Put this up. Elon Musk is doing fascist Erdogan's bidding and has banned/censored popular opposition candidate Erkem Imamoglu, I'm probably mispronouncing that account, inside of Turkey. Freedom of speech for some, suppression for everyone else. So this is super important because Turkey is falling prey to an authoritarian dictator. And opposition sources are super, super important. If you think about what Vladimir Putin did to Alex Navalny, he's dead. They killed him. And so Musk is not only doing the dirty work here in the United States, but also for other dictators. And this is what's so terrifying about when the dictators of the world form an alliance. It always leads to war. Always. Historically, every single time. And we see the United States of America with Elon Musk, I want to remind everybody, was born in South Africa, comes over here, can't earn money on his own. He always has to game the system and skirt the system and be subsidized by taxpayers, break the rules, investigations into his companies. He, spikes the football on all of those. These guys are liars, cheaters, grifters, and con men, and they lie and tell the MAGA base, we are so for free speech. And they're not. They're not for free speech. They're not for freedom. They're not for democracy. And America needs to wake up.
I completely agree with that assessment. And what is so terrifying.
And also, what you should know, she says that, she says he comes to America and he is one of the biggest grifters. He didn't create Tesla. He purchased Tesla and he drove it into the ground. And then he came hobbling on his hands and knees to who? Barack Obama, who helped him, who gave him a loan to help him save Tesla. He did not create Starlink. No, he purchased Starlink. So all of this, he's the most intelligent. No, he's a welfare queen who is always spazzing out. They say that he says he used ketamine, and he said he can't even say if he uses it as prescribed. I didn't even know they prescribe ketamine, but obviously they do. And we have not seen him spazzing out, looking all crazy up in the sky and all of these jerky motions and stuff. And no one questions this. This Christian right party, this motherfucker with 14 kids and ain't married to not nan woman. 14 kids, 4 baby mamas. And Elon, he's so intelligent. Elon, I want to go to Mars with Elon. Child, Elon is not living in any community that you're in. Elon surrounds himself with people who can do what? Enrich Elon. That's who he surrounds himself with. Even for his SpaceX SpaceX project in Brownsville, Texas. He bought up all the houses around the SpaceX plant. And then what did he do? He turned that into its own town. Do you think he don't even want to be bothered with you motherfucking common motherfuckers on Earth? Much less you think he what makes these motherfuckers think that, oh, we're going to Mars? You ain't going to goddamn place. So go over there and check out iHip News. I just added it to the description box. I think you will enjoy these ladies, and I think that they are always on the money. Hey, So Benz, Grand Rising. Ronnie Q, I'm so glad that you discovered these ladies. You need a spot on their show. 100%. I love their channel. Yes. Yes, Nappy Child. I think that, and they're from Alabama. You would not think that these are some Alabama women. Yeah, they are from Alabama. So I suggest you guys go over there and check these ladies out. Great commentary. So let me see who else I have that I wanted to. I did the commercial. Let's get into some other things that I wanted to discuss. I just have a few more things that I wanted to talk about on today that I ran across yesterday. Have you guys been checking out these committee meetings that they've been having? They have been having some good committee meetings. Racism is a business. I have circling of the Pope already. I think I've had enough of the Pope. Oh, they are very brave. So you guys know that 47 had us over there in Yemen, making strikes in Yemen daily. Let me see if I can find out what Hegseth had to tell us about the strikes in Yemen. I forgot to add that. Let me see if I can find him talking about the Yemen strikes outside of Signal Gate. Let me see what he had to. Let me see what. Let me see. I see him defending himself. I want to see what he had to actually. Hold on. Here we go. Let's hear what Hegseth had to say about the strikes in Yemen. I will present this to you because we're going to talk about Yemen this morning. Let me share this with you. Hegseth pledges strikes at Houthis won't be a one-off or something to that effect.
Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth made it clear that the recent strikes against Houthis in Yemen are not a one-off event aiming to protect U.S. assets in the region.
This campaign is about freedom of navigation and restoring deterrence. The minute the Houthis say, we'll stop shooting at your ships, we'll stop shooting at your drones, this campaign will end. But until then, It will be unrelenting.
Hegseth stressed that the strikes are a response to Houthis targeting U.S. ships in the Red Sea and are not intended to interfere in the Yemeni civil war. Over 30 Houthis were reportedly killed during the strikes. He also noted a significant decline in the Suez Canal traffic due to Houthi aggression, which has impacted U.S. national interests. Hegseth stated that under the Trump administration, pressure on Iran will continue as part of a strategy to reopen freedom of navigation in the region. Defense Secretary Pete
Mercy, I've been talking all this time. God dang it. I have been talking all this time. Hey, Z Sarah. Hey, Liz. Okay, so I played that for you. Oh my God. I played that for you. I played that for you because all of a sudden, the United States has a new position on Yemen. Yemen has been striking in the Red Sea because of what's going on in Palestine. Now, we heard Hegseth say that mention Iran, and we heard him say that they're going to keep pressure on Iran because Iran allegedly is supporting the Houthis. And the reason why the Houthis are doing strikes in the Red Sea is over what's going on in Palestine, because they don't like what's going on in Palestine. They want to disrupt the ships that are going in, traveling in the Red Sea as a protest of what's going on in Palestine. And who is helping Benjamin Netanyahu in Palestine do the things that they're doing in Palestine? The United States is helping him. That's who's helping them. That's who's arming them, sending them money at a time when they have broken their own ceasefire agreement over 9 or 10 months, that are starving the Palestinian people out. These same people who are actually saying out loud right now that this is it. We are taking all of the Palestinians out of their land, never to return. You enjoy your day as well too, Candy. Thank you for helping me meet my goals. I appreciate you. They are taking the Palestinians out of their land and never to return them to their land. You know, the land that you must admit that you're 45, 47 is first off, and always is a real estate developer who came over and said that that is some great waterfront property, and there's nothing what are the people going to come back to? There's nothing there. There's nothing there. What are they going to come back to? Like, leave your land. You have nothing here. You have nothing here. But we're going to build something. We're going to build something great here. We are going to just rebuild the Palestinian land. Just leave your land. Okay, so this is going on. All of this is going on, and we act like we don't see the link. We act like we didn't see that Netanyahu went to 45, 47 in his first administration and lied. I don't know and told him that Iran, they're still trying to create nuclear weapons, even though Barack Obama Iran and Barack Obama signed a non-proliferation deal for Iraq. Now, what the heck stuff want? They're still going to put pressure on Iran for what? For a nuclear deal. Something that they had when 45, 47 first went into office, but they no longer have now. So they're keeping pressure on Iran for this nuclear deal. Iran, who they want to say that the Houthis are involved in, and the Houthis are so horrible. The Houthis, you heard in this thing that I just played you, they can't decide if the Houthis are striking the U.S. ships, or if the Houthis are striking the ships that have been taking goods into via the Black Sea. They can't decide which one. Are they striking them to keep the lane clear for other ship traffic, or are they striking them because Hegseth said they're striking them because they're doing both? They're they're striking American ships, and they're striking ships that go through the harbor. And we know that they don't give a fuck about protecting the ships that are taking goods to Europe, because we heard that in the signal. I hate that we have to help them. You know, we should figure out a way where we can get our money back from them. They don't give a fuck about them ships that are going through Europe, because you heard them say that on that signal chat. So we're going to look at the thing for what we know it to be, based upon what they're saying and what they're saying to each other. Now, all of a sudden, I bet you guys did not know that Trump has decided that he will no longer be striking the Houthis. The Houthis he's been striking on a daily basis. They were damn near saying that this was a war with the Houthis, because unclaimed war that has to be approved by Congress. That could be another reason why they're stopping this bombs on the Houthis. Now, why are they stopping the bombings on the Houthis that they say that Iran is using as a proxy, and Iran is making nuclear weapons and all of this, and they're flying side-by-side missions over and near Iran with Israel to prove a point with B-2 bombers that could hold nuclear weapons. We're flying over close to Iran. Why now all of a sudden the Houthis, they're no problem? 4547 says that the Houthi says that they do not want to fight anymore with America, and America believes them. Could it be that second plane that went down this week? The second plane that the Houthis shot down, American plane that the Houthis shot down this week, could it be that? Or could it just be that the Houthi says, "Oh, we don't want to fight. I don't really want to fight. Something. I don't want to fight no more." Has he turned into Tina Turner? I don't know who's wrong or right. I just don't want to fight no more. Too hard letting go. I don't know. Let's see this story. Maybe somebody else can tell you better than me. Okay, let me see. Trump crumbles, and he actually said that the Houthis were brave. Now he went from bombing them several times a day to saying that the Houthis are brave. Let's hear about this.
Just praised the bravery. President Donald Trump just praised the bravery of the Houthis, a militant group that has killed American soldiers and is launching drone and missile attacks on American ships in the Red Sea. This guy is not well, and he seems disoriented, and he seems confused. Listen to this, and just imagine if Joe Biden or, I don't know, even Barack Obama had ever praised a terrorist group. Listen to this.
We had a very good outcome with the Houthis, and we honor their word. I mean, they made a commitment, and we dealt with other countries that were close to them and their surrogates, and we honor all of their words. We'll see what happens, but I think, I believe that hopefully that's over with, and they'll leave the ships alone. Just leave those ships alone. But so we take their word for it. It was, we hit them very hard. They had a great capacity to withstand punishment. They took tremendous punishment. And, you could say there's a lot of bravery there.
No, I can say we hit them very hard. We hit them very hard. And now 2 or 3 days after they didn't shot down the second aircraft, American aircraft, now all of a sudden, I take them at their word. What is their word? Why? What word are you taking them at? Huh? Why were you over there fighting them in the first place? Because they were preventing passages of ships going in, cargo ships going into the EU. We know that you guys didn't want to do that in the first place. So, what word are you taking them at? Let me continue this.
It was amazing what they took, but we honor their commitment and their word. They gave us their word that they wouldn't be shooting ships anymore. And
that is the president of the United States. As much as I hate to admit it, he is the president in 2025, calling a U.S. designated terrorist group, one that openly chants death to America, brave. The Houthis aren't some ragtag rebel group, okay? They're attacking commercial shipping. They're targeting U.S. military assets. They're escalating a regional conflict. Just 3 months ago, they were responsible for a drone strike that killed service members. And Trump's takeaway is that they are impressively brave for standing their ground. This is not strength. This is derangement. The same man who says he will bring peace through strength is romanticizing violent extremists because they appear defiant, because they seem in some way unafraid. And this is the longstanding pattern from Donald Trump. He admires force no matter who wields it or no matter what it's in service of. So yesterday it was the Houthis. More recently, it was Putin. Kim Jong-un with the love letters during the first term. If you flex power, Trump melts. And it's part of a disturbing years-long pattern where Trump has always shown deference to authoritarian strongmen. He's called Putin a genius. He says so many great things about Kim Jong-un and how strongly he rules. He's praised Xi Jinping for ruling with absolute power. He even, I had to double check this one because I was wondering if I was remembering it incorrectly. He talked about how efficiently Saddam Hussein ruled over the Iraqi people. So Trump doesn't care if you're a tyrant or a thug or a terrorist. If you look like you're in charge, if you're willing to use force, if you demand complete and total loyalty, which is Trump's favorite currency, Trump just swoons. He's in love. Now, as sitting president, he's applying the same warped admiration to the Houthis, which is a group actively trying to kill American personnel. It's not just embarrassing, it's a national security risk. And just imagine the alternate timeline. If any other president, if Biden or Obama praised the Houthis as brave after they killed American troops, the right would be storming the gates. They've stormed the gates before. Congress would be in an emergency session. Fox News would have terrorist in chief written along the bottom of the screen 24/7. But it's Trump, so they say nothing. It's just silence. We have a president openly applauding American adversaries while they are attacking us. And so this goes beyond unhinged rhetoric.
Okay, so if you want to catch the rest of this, the David Pakman show, go over there and check out David Pakman. That is where I found out about any of this happening. Hold on, I have to. Thank you, Red Wings Hockey. I don't care who won't go right. I don't really want to fight no more. Too hard letting go. Yeah, that's it. Lord, he is very cognitively incapable. Ronnie Q, I think you wanted to. Ronnie Q, I think you wanted to mute. We can hear you in the background, honey. I didn't want to. That was my dog. You heard that little paper rattling. Yeah, my dog. He goes in my room and he comes out with have you seen that box of lemon heads, the big ones that they sell like in for 99 cents? Like the movie theater box. I had some lemon heads, and here he comes out with the lemon head box, and he's tearing it apart. See, you cannot leave anything low around Rascal. Is that what you? Yeah, that was Rascal. And he came out with the big old lemon head box in his mouth, and he hops up on this thing, and he's ripping it open, trying to get to the goodies. And the only reason you didn't hear me trying to get it from him because I knew it was empty. So he's sitting up there ripping open the lemon head box, and that's what that was. Thank you, for telling me. Nobody told me when I was eating that popcorn yesterday. I was in here tearing some popcorn up as a video was playing. And I went back to the chat and Jill, what are you eating? What are you eating? The Destroyer. Yes. Now you see pieces of paper. You realize you let something too low. The Pooch has good taste. I love me some old school lemonade. The box is a toy. We used to whistle through it. Yeah, so yeah, he came up. Usually he'll when he steals something, he'll go under the bed and tear it up. if you leave, I remember my husband had some no, the Reese's cups. That was Thor who did the donuts. He had some Reese cups, and I would see some Reese cup papers like on the floor. I'm like, what the heck are these Reese cup? The individual Reese cups, not the pack, the individual little small ones. And I was like, what is this Reese cup? And then I went to pick it up, and then I saw another one, and then I looked under the bed, and I see all of these little Reese cup papers, and then I'm like, where did these Reese cups come from? I didn't even know that there were any Reese cups in the house. But somebody was working on an area, and come to find out, my husband had some Reese cups, individuals, and he put them in a bag, to clear the area out. And then I was walking to the kitchen, and I see Rascal with his face in the bag, and he comes out with a single Reese cup. And I was like, that's where he's getting these Reese cups from. Thank God that if chocolate really killed small dogs, he'd have been dead. All of these little Reese cups. I'm still finding dog confetti from my dog sitting. Oh, they are something else. Yeah, they are really something else. Now the little one, Saucy, she would chase him around. We give them both their treats at the same time. Russell gets his first because he's the first dog. So he don't think that he's being replaced. That's how I always did it, because that's how I read that you should do it. If you have two pets, you always give the first pet their treat or whatever first. So he gets his treat, he walks away, and then she'll chase behind him. And you can have her treat hanging down there. She won't get her treat from you. She has to chase behind him first, and then she comes back and get his treat. Like he's gonna drop his treat. Like she's such a terror. Her little teeth don't hurt you, don't hurt him at all. He look at her like, oh girl, let my leg go. So yeah, there's something else. I don't know how I got on this. Yeah, the dog's like, I want some snacks too. Yeah, there's something else. So I got a couple more things I want to share with you guys. We got that Trump has crumbled. Let me see what else did I set up that I wanted to talk about. I wanted to talk about these hearings that they've been having. These hearings. Let me see if I have some of them set up. Hold on one second. They've had a hearing with Kash Patel, the guy who's over the FBI. They've had a very important hearing with the head of FEMA. They're talking about their budgets. The FBI was supposed to have submitted their preliminary budget last week. It was due. It was due. It wasn't a request. No, it was due last week. So Kash Patel brings his cross-eyed ass up in the hearing, talking reckless and talking a whole bunch of hyperbole to avoid answering the questions that he was really asked. Talking all crazy to these people because he's unprepared. He's unprepared. He has nothing. He wants to talk about he needs $1 billion, but he has no itemized, detailed anything about why he says that he needs the stuff the money he needs, and why is he not talking to 4547 who cut the FBI budget over $500 million or something to that effect? But he's sitting up there with an attitude, unprepared, talking about he need $1 billion. Oh, just a whole mess. Oh, some of those interactions with Kash Patel, if you haven't seen it. Okay, let me see. Okay, racism is a business. I forget what this is. Oh, I didn't cover this story. I did not cover this story because I just am so sick of these bitches and their bullshit. Remember, I'm pretty sure you guys have heard the story about the woman who was in a park who started calling a black 5-year-old a nigga repeatedly, and then when somebody intervened who knew that the child was autistic, said, "Are you calling this child the N word?" And she was like, "If he that's what he act like, that's what I'm gonna call him." A 5-year-old. He was stealing out of my. He was trying to steal from my child. A 5-year-old with autism. The guy who asked her, who checked her, knew that the child had autism. Yeah, it went viral. That video went viral with her repeatedly nigga, 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 nigga. Okay, so that went viral, and then she needed to move, and she needed to. He was a Somali. I think they were in Minneapolis, I think, or they could have been in Wisconsin. So, yes, an autistic child. So then all of a sudden, since it went viral, she needed to move. So she didn't have the money to move. If you put up a GoFundMe type of situation, it wasn't GoFundMe exactly, but it was one of those crowd share things. And all of a sudden, you know what happened? She had raised $100,000. Then she had raised 200, then 300, then 500, then 600. Now it's all allegedly at $700,000. So when you go to give and you see that she just needed to move and she's earned $40,000 or $50,000, do you still give? Yes, you do. If you want to confirm that it was okay and say something else racist in there. So she has all of these racist comments on top of it, and she has profited allegedly up until this time about close to $700,000. So they can agree with her and tell her she was right and give her money and let her profit off of her racism. Okay, so let me share this story. Now there is a person who wants to counter her. They have went to this is the same place where that Carmelo Anthony, who unalived that they say he was being bullied, he was being pushed on, and he unalived that guy, and they are so up in arms that people are giving to him on this same platform. But she comes behind and she needs to move because of her own action of calling a child repeatedly. And this is her own action, and she has collected more money than him. So let's review this story. There's a woman who's coming out. She has interviewed the owner of this. It's supposed to be some Christian-based company, and so she's going to, and he said that the reason that they have this company is for redemption. And it's funny that this lady has never asked for any redemption. The commentator here says that, you usually have to repent before you can get any redemption. And she has asked for nothing but for money, and she's getting plenty of it with more hate speech attached. So let's check out this story and the update on this story. I didn't want to even touch this story because it's just, we are living it in policy. So why bother covering it? They're trying to, this is the shit that they're trying to erase from history. Maybe is this it? I guess this is it. Yes, this is it. Okay. The link is in the description box.
Of the white female who called a child the N-word. She goes viral, raises hundreds of thousands of dollars by all of the other bigots in the United States of America. Well, Piers Morgan had a panel on Playground Karen. I'm going to remind you of the incident and show you what happened on Piers Morgan. Here it is.
You call him a child? Call the child. It is my business. You call him. Okay, why don't you have the boss to say it right now again? To say. Somebody digging to you. That little kid, you call him the little child?
What if he acts like one? He's gonna.
Are you about to hit him? You chase him here?
He took my son's stuff.
So that gives you the right to call the child 5-year-old the N-word.
If that's what he's gonna act.
That's
like.
what you're gonna call him.
That's what he's gonna act like.
You know, that's a hate speech.
Yep, that is hate speech. Put it up full mass. She accuses a 5-year-old child of theft, which, by the way, not even possible. No mens rea attached, no formulation of criminal intent, etc. Last week, we shared a story featuring this individual who was caught on camera calling a little child the N-word on a Minnesota playground. Now, Mark Lamont Hill pops off on Piers Morgan for inviting white former TikToker who went viral for saying the N-word to say the racial slur on his show. I'm going to show it to you now.
Okay, so I played a little bit of this Piers Morgan show on yesterday. The woman, the blonde woman, not on the end, the one next to her, she said that she is, well, I guess I'm a racist. That's what they call me. And I use the N-word all the time. And so I did not watch the whole show. I watched a clip of the show. I did not know that this came after. That she says that she uses the word all the time, anywhere she wants to use it. Yeah, we know that is, I doubt if that's true. Anywhere that she wants to use the word. So I didn't know that Piers Morgan, while he did read her the riot act and called her overt racism, I don't know why. He then told her to use the word right now. Just say it right now. And I love what Mark Lamont Hill had to say in response to Piers Morgan saying it like it's some sport. And this guy next to Piers Morgan right here is one of those red pill bros who he's sitting up there laughing like it's cute and like it's funny and all of this shit. Let's see what happens here.
Unashamedly, and you will
go
not
on then,
have
say
free
it. Say
you
the
will
N-
not have
go on,
free
go on. Say the N-word. Go on.
I'm not
No.
I don't want you to invite this woman to say a racially harmful term in front of me because I'm the only on here. So if she says it, I'm the victim of it. So please don't invite her for ratings to call me the N-word because that's basically what it's going to be. There's a bunch of white people up here. You and one Uncle Tom on the left here, and ask her to say the N-word while I'm here is ridiculous. You would not sit here with a Jewish person and say, please use a Jewish slur in front of this Jew. It's ridiculous. I understand you don't have any bad intent, Piers. I understand what you're trying to do, but we already know she's racist, and I don't want to invite a racial harm to me.
I hear you.
And I agree. I hear you. Do you think that he would have stood up there and told somebody who was anti-Semitic to say a Jewish slur with a Jewish person? No, he wouldn't have. He wouldn't have done that. It's a whole lack of respect while trying to coin her as something that she is. He doesn't see the same racial bias in himself.
I hear you, and I accept that, and we'll leave it there.
Yeah. You should accept it, Pierce. You should have apologized immediately, recognized your wrongdoing, sir. Put it up, full mass. This is the bias that we're talking about. Let's keep that panel up. So Piers Morgan invites a racist human being on the program and then challenges that racist human being to do what racist human beings do. Do it. Do it on my show. Yes, do it. We already know you do it. It's ridiculous. It doesn't respect the panel. It's not a professional conversation. It's not a good faith debate. And our dear brother, Professor Hill, is correct. When the professor posits, now you're inviting me to be a victim of her racism on your show. That should never happen. And Piers Morgan would have never posited to do this for any other group other than Black folk. Believe that. So the update, and big ups. Thank you, dear brother, for saying exactly what you said. Update, she has now received over 700,000. Okay, ridiculous. Now, Black web developer who pushed to shut down Shiloh Hendricks' fundraiser, man behind our video, gets a barrage of death threats as parents of Black child speaks out. In the video that started it all, filmed by 30-year-old Sharmaik Omar in a Minnesota public park, Hendricks admits calling a young Somali child the N-word because, quote, he took my son's stuff. She then goes on to repeat the racial slur multiple times before seemingly justifying her actions during the recorded confrontation with Omar. Despicable behavior by this woman, by this adult. Despicable. Everyone would agree. Except racist people. Omar told NBC News that the child is on the autism spectrum and that the parents, whom he knows, have expressed support in filing charges against Hendricks. A local chapter of the NAACP has raised more than $300,000 for the family since the video went viral. Rochester police, meanwhile, say they completed an investigation of the incident, though it's not clear what, if any, criminal charges Hendricks may face. Now, some of you may say, well, it's covered by free speech. Not so fast. There's a statute. Let's take it to the state of Georgia for a moment. There's a state statute that says if you use profanity in front of a minor, you can be charged with a misdemeanor offense that is akin basically to child abuse, okay? It doesn't say how many times you have to utilize that particular profane language. It doesn't really qualify what is profane and what is not. It's kind of up to the authorities to decide. There's more. Omar also faced death threats for exposing Ms. Hendricks. Quote, I'm not a man with a lot of words. This is the first time I've spoken in front of people, but that didn't stop me from protecting that child, end quote. He said during a town hall Wednesday night in Rochester, quote, right now, I am being punished. I have death threats against me online, phone calls, and my information has been leaked online as well. Yep, been there. There's more. Jacob Wells, co-founder of Give, Send, Go, a Christian fundraising platform where Hendricks launched her, quote, defense fund, told Piers Morgan, quote, she might have some racial animus, but wouldn't call her a racist. He defended potentially making Hendricks a millionaire based on her racist outbursts, arguing that the site is about redemption, not cancel culture. You know, ironic, isn't it? It's about redemption. Christian platform. I wonder how much of the percentage of those donations does your Christian platform receive for the administrative fee to handle that much money? Just a question. But if you're doing this all for redemption, and this is a redemption site, understand what redemption is. It means to redeem. You cannot redeem if you have not acknowledged the need for redemption in the first place. So without an acknowledgement, a full throttle acknowledgement, repentance is what your Bible would call it. Without that, there is no redemption given, because redemption has to be sought by the individual, and it is not something that is simply given by a company. So let's stop the immature conversation of redemption or the falsity of your Christianity. This is a business decision, and you know good and damn well it is. Put up this Sister Full Mass. Now, Keandria Demon is working to make sure she never sees a cent. Keandria Demoni, an entrepreneur and activist based in Atlanta, Georgia, with a growing online platform, has become known to, in her own words, bully racist off the internet or to stop doing whatever it is they've done. Quote, I was initially looking for things that were red flags as far as their compliance as a company. She told the Griot during a recent phone interview, quote, I started thinking like, this isn't going to be enough because they're just going to fix it and they're going to keep operating, end quote. The 33-year-old social media disruptor has launched an effort to prevent Hendricks from receiving any money from her campaign on GiveSendGo, which has netted over 600,000 up to 700,000. The ask has since been increased to $1 million by the racist woman. By directing her nearly 50,000 followers and all who want to help put pressure on the fundraising platform and payment processor by making complaints, she hopes to hold them accountable for profiting off of hate. I encourage you to look up Ms. Keandria, follow her, and do likewise. We cannot allow this.
Okay, so that's what I wanted to catch you guys up on that story. Now, let's talk about who's going to speak up for the veterans. They had a hearing about the VA and the cuts to the VA, but I don't see anybody who's doing news, alleged news, talking about the cuts that the great Grand Wizard Presidential is doing to the VA. Well, you know that a lot of these veterans come out wounded. A lot of their wounds are psychological, so you can't see them. You know, crazy people are the last people who understand that they are crazy. These, you know, they think that the shit that bubbles around in their crazy mind is really just sound thinking. They think that they can give the news while kissing the ass of the person who's taking their health benefits away. And let's pledge allegiance to the ignorance. Shall we? Let's hear what was done in the VA hearings on yesterday. Why don't we? Here we go. Here we go. Let's start right here. It's sloppy and you know it. Elise Slocum shows no mercy to Doug Collins over VA cuts. I mean, somebody has to tell the story. But they're so busy trying to compete where they have no comparison because they're idiots. Let's do the real news. Let's do some and see, because it takes more than opinion to do the news. So let's talk about the cuts to the VA.
Thank you. First of all, I just want to recognize the chairman.
Oh, and I would also like to alert you that no, I am not a veteran. I know a veteran I am not. See, because to be the news, you don't have to do the news. You don't have to be the news. It's just news. So let's continue.
Chairman, thank you for holding this hearing. I think it is a bipartisan goal to support our veterans. And I think it's one of the first hearings I've had where after confirmation hearing, we've brought the secretary back in short order. So I appreciate that. Secretary Collins, during your confirmation hearing, you assured me and the others here that, quote, the mission is the veteran, and, quote, that you would not sacrifice the veteran. I took you at your word, as did many on this side of the dais. But since you've taken office, you've heard it, you moved to terminate VA contracts, offered to buy out VA employees that were in already shortage situations in those career fields. You placed a hiring freeze on critical VA employees serving veterans. 2,400 recent VA hires were let go, and then I think because of the courts, brought back. You've been here today doubling and tripling down on that. I have no problem with cutting fat in the VA. I worked at the Defense Department. If someone had said to me, cut fat, I know exactly where I'd cut. But it's the nature of the cuts. If you're firing someone on a Friday and they're being brought back on a Monday, no CEO in America would be lauded for that kind of sloppy cuts. And then when you came to Michigan, you came to Howell, Michigan, I think in the last month and a half, you were asked directly about the potential for 80,000 additional employees to be cut. And instead of pushing back, you just said, quote, there's going to be a lot of friction. And I understand that you're wordsmithing things to say that no nurses or doctors in the VA facilities are going to be touched. That is good. But I held a roundtable with veterans. These are folks who are in the business. And their concern was that if you are a veteran and you walk into a VA, in Iron Mountain, and you need to get a claim, you put in a claim to get a knee surgery, and there's no claim caseworkers, there's no people working on those claims, and it takes you 2 years to get an answer, that's also not access to care. The doctors and nurses may be there, but if you can't go in and you're in pain every single day, that is also a problem. It's a problem for veteran center staff who have not been excluded, primary care administrators, IT staff. I know it's wonky, but you've just accelerated the electronic health record transition. I think IT staff are important if we're going to make sure we don't lose records of our veterans. And then benefit claims administrators. These are all people who kind of don't meet your criteria to be saved. We all want to serve the mission of the veterans, but what was really strange was that we had the deputy chief medical officer up here for a hearing, and we said, what's the plan on cutting, this potentially 80,000? Have you been consulted? And they said very clearly, no. So I'm having a problem understanding how I'm to believe that the veterans in Michigan are going to get the same or better care, which is what we want. When you seem to be sort of, I don't know, you're claiming that these 80,000 are like DEI and interior designers. There's no way that all those 80,000 are in those job fields. So help me understand how you're going to preserve, that veteran who needs this knee surgery, but there's no one to process his claim.
Thank you, Senator. I think there's a lot to unpack there. And yes, the mission is the veteran. And I think I want to go back to one of the statements you made earlier. If you said DOD, you worked in DOD, if you want to find it, I would just happen to turn the table and say, if you came to work at VA, you'd probably be able to do the same thing.
I don't have a question with that.
So I think
but 80,000 is different than cutting. I mean, and I think again, any CEO in America who fires people on a Friday and rehires them with back pay a week later would be fired from their job. It's sloppy, and you know it.
I think I'll disagree with the judge's decision there and continue the appeals process on that. So, I mean, look at it from that perspective as we go forward. But also, again, when you look at these issues and you look forward,
I'm going to disagree with the judge's ruling, but you're going to bring these people back to their jobs because you obviously did not have the authority to fire these people that you fired, and still talking about firing 83,000 more people from the VA, but you don't. And it just strikes me how they are so eager to say anything they're doing in the firings and the taking back of rights. They got fired because they were under DEI. They got fired because we are getting rid of people with black jobs. We are getting rid of people who want, and they say it like, oh, it's the thing to do. Like, oh, you should know there should be no pushback on us because we're getting rid of DEI. It's just black people. Let's continue.
I mean, it's interesting to me. I would just be curious, and I'm just playing the scenario out. If you go into DOD, it's 20,000 a proper number, it's 50,000 proper number, it's 10,000 a proper number. At the VA, we exempted over 300,000 positions to ensure patient care, patient quality, and disability benefits were being done.
So how come there were people fired and then rehired from the Veteran Suicide Hotline? Like you've acknowledged, I think, even publicly, that some of these things were a mistake. It doesn't give us confidence that an 80,000 number, which is just a number, you didn't say career fields, you didn't say whatever, you just said 80,000, that's being done with a scalpel and not a sledgehammer. And I think for veteran care, again, it's not me that's the only one asking these questions. It's veterans who have a very different political view than me, who are getting seriously agitated back home. So I just don't understand the logic behind a across-the-board haircut.
Well, I think the biggest thing is what you're looking at here is, I think right now there's been, because that's what I've had to fight for the whole time, is to fight this idea of just being blanket numbers, throw out, playing Trivial Pursuit with numbers and others.
Right.
It has scared veterans. So honestly, what are they going to hear? If all they hear from people is, if you cut this, then it's going to actually impact my healthcare, then what are they actually going to think? Because one, they've not seen a plan. You've not seen a plan, because we're still working a plan. I'm not going to play out a plan in public that would actually take employees. You wouldn't do it in your own office.
I know I'm over, but it is playing out in public because you have fired people and then they have been rehired. That's not a secret plan. People in my district, Marines, veterans, have been fired from their VA jobs and then brought back. So it's not that there's some sneaky plan. You're in it. You're living it, and you're living the sloppiness of it. So I'm sorry, I know my time's over, but I can't agree.
Okay, so there's one example of the sloppiness of the head of the VA. Let's get into this one as well. More of what the head of the VA has to say. Simply unacceptable. Anytime Richard Blumenthal is questioning someone, he simply unacceptable. Richard Blumenthal slams VA secretary about the department's failure to even respond to letters. I guess that's DEI as
I
well.
want to thank you, Senator Moran, for again bringing us together for the bipartisan work that you and I have done together. This committee has been more bipartisan than any in the United States Senate, so far as I'm concerned, and it will continue to be so in championing measures like the PAC Act, which Secretary Collins, by the way, I just noticed, is not mentioned once in your written testimony, which mystifies me. Let me say at the very outset, I'd like to enter a few items into the record. The first is an article published this morning by ProPublica, supported by hard evidence and in-depth conversations with VA staff. It outlines a number of examples of real-life impacts to veterans caused by the firings, freezes, and cuts in this administration. It also outlines disturbing warnings of what's to come, documents with recommendation from DOJ, the DOJ tech boys. I call them the DOJ dopes, that outline cutting 100,000 employees and closing as many as 17 VA hospitals. I'd also like to enter into the record a statement from Darren J. Pettit, president of the AFG Local 0025. His statement is a summary of the dozens of impact statements from VA employees that were provided to my office this morning. And in addition, the New York Times article on mental health care, diminishing and degrading privacy available through telemental health care that is absolutely unacceptable. In Mr. Pettit's words, his statement represents, quote, the collective voices of frontline public servants who have endured significant and unjustified hardships stemming from recent policy changes, management decisions, and failures to honor basic labor protections. Finally, I want to submit for the record an updated list of 41 requests for information and 19 letters of inquiry that have been sent to this administration without substantive response, any sufficient response, or any response at all. If that is okay, Mr. Chairman, without objection.
Without objection, so ordered.
We're here about accountability, which so far has been totally lacking. The absence of responses to our inquiries are simply unacceptable. You inherited, Mr. Secretary, a VA that was delivering a record amount of health care. Last year, wait times decreased despite a record increase in new patient appointments. You claim the disability backlogs got worse, but the percentage of backlog claims actually is about the same, but increasing challenges in numbers. And the VA has decreased the time to process each claim, setting new records for productivity. You inherited a VA that was setting new records for burials, and that is important to the service members, the families that sadly have to provide those burials. The VA has been delivering more care, more services, more benefits to more veterans, and doing it faster than ever before when you took over. And that is in no way to deny the importance of improvement. Call it reform, call it revision. Improvement is absolutely necessary, but it shouldn't be done with a chainsaw. The head, the commander of the Veterans of Foreign Wars came before us, and he drew this analogy. When he was wounded in combat, the surgeon used a scalpel. He took the shrapnel out of his arm. He did not use a meat axe. He did not use a chainsaw. And that's the kind of improvement that we should work to achieve with the input of those skilled and dedicated caregivers who are working hard in the VA right now. A third of them veterans, thousands of them already fired, and others potentially losing their positions in the future. You've announced the cancellation of 800 contracts worth an alleged $2 billion, only to rescind that statement once the harmful impacts of the cancellations were made public, and we protested. You arbitrarily fired thousands of VA employees, including Veterans Crisis Line employees, only to subsequently reinstate a number of them after public backlash or after you learned that they were fired by mistake, and we protested. You've delayed the opening of facilities across the country only to announce they'd open in phases because of insufficient staffing. You've equated them to restaurants. You claim that's how it's always been done, but that's not true. And so far as that 83,000 number is concerned, apparently you want to go back to the 2019 numbers, because since then, some 80,000 VA workers have been added to the rolls. You should know 2/3 of them are healthcare workers. If you slash those healthcare workers, VA quality and access will diminish. A number of them are VBA claims processors, 1/3 of them. If you slash them, the times for PAC Act benefits will be delayed. I think that oversight is absolutely necessary and improvement is always possible, but it should be done positively without the slashing and trashing that right now you have advocated. In the real world, we know that support personnel are absolutely necessary. Answering the phones, cleaning the surgical equipment, preparing the operating rooms, scheduling the appointments, or fixing the IT systems. Those burdens will fall to others, or they will simply fall through the cracks if you slash and trash the VA. In Connecticut, the VA is operating without a locksmith because that position is not exempt from your hiring freeze. And the VA has ignored local requests for that exemption.
I still can't believe how fast.
Okay, so a lot of this is going ignored. A lot of these cuts, a lot of these hearings, people want to report on the news when they don't even know the news. News that even may affect them because they're so busy being a dumb bitch and kissing ass. So let's do our final one on the VA. There are so many. Let me see. Bernie Sanders. Let's do Bernie Sanders. Bernie Sanders does not let up on Doug Collins over attacks on unions, nor should he.
Secretary Collins, the workers in the United States have a right to be in unions. Secretary Collins, the workers in the United States have a right to be members of unions.
Okay.
Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay.
I didn't know that was a question.
Okay.
Okay. What the fuck you mean? Okay. Okay. So he already know his goose is cooked. How is that okay? Like okay. Okay. This is who's over the VA. Let's see why he's asking him about unions when he's over the VA. And all he has to say is, okay, aloof, okay.
Yes.
Okay.
I didn't know that was a question.
Secretary Collins, the workers in the United States have a right to be members of unions.
Okay.
Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay.
I didn't know that was a question.
Okay. President Trump issued an executive order banning collective bargaining in the VA, eliminating union rights to 79% of workers there because of security reasons. Do you think that workers in the VA are a threat to national security if they're a member of a union?
I don't think that was the purpose of the EO, Senator.
That's exactly what he said. Then why
and I don't think that that's the answer to the question you were asked.
did you eliminate collective bargaining rights at the VA?
I think the interesting issue here is that's not what the EO is about. The EO is about
we're not talking about the EO. We're talking about why you didn't push back on the executive order. We're not talking. We don't need you to explain a goddamn thing other than why you follow this order when you know that the order is not based in truth or facts, bitch. But you can't even find some veterans that will push back on that because they're stupid.
The interesting issue here is that's not what the EO is about. The EO is our national security interest of our fourth mission. And what if you look at the entire EO is about making sure that the fourth mission is not.
Is a nurse at the VA a national security threat by being a member of a union?
Okay, sir, I can't answer the question. We're on different pages. It's not the fact.
Yeah, you can answer the question because the answer would be no. He asked you, if a veteran is in a union, are they a harm? That's what the EO says. Let's go back. I'm not going to.
That's exactly what he said. Then why did you eliminate workers in the VA are a threat to national security if they're a member of a union?
I don't think that was the purpose of the EO, Senator.
That's exactly what he said. Then why did you eliminate collective bargaining rights at the VA?
I think the interesting issue here is that's not what the EO is about. The EO is our national security interest of our fourth mission. And if you look at the entire EO is about making sure that the fourth mission is not.
Is a nurse at the VA a national security threat by being a member of a union?
Okay, sir, I can't answer the question. We're on different pages. It's not the fact that the VA is a national security threat. It's a national security threat that if we can't perform our fourth mission,
no, that's
looking at.
Well,
I mean,
that's what the bottom line is. Unions, 79% of workers at the VA are union members. They no longer are able to engage in collective bargaining. To me, that is an outrage. I think the courts will overturn that. Next question.
At this point, that's not true. At this point, that's not true.
All right. Let me ask you this. Do you?
At this point, that's not true. Obviously, there is a court case pending, and he thinks the judges will overturn it. So for you to say at this point it's not true, it seems like somebody is fighting to show you how true it will be.
Do you believe that every veteran in this country, as I believe, and I think many members of this committee believe, are entitled to VA healthcare?
As a veteran, yes.
Yeah. Okay. What are we doing right now? What are you doing to improve outreach to bring more veterans into VA?
Well, I think that's, let's go back to the question you just said. Does everybody have a right to be in a union? The answer is yes.
No,
does everybody have a right to on the benefit they've earned to come to the VA? But I can't force them in.
No, of course.
We're on a new question. Answer the actual question he's asking you. To go back to the old question. Nobody said you can force anyone is. He said, what are you doing to get more people in? What outreach are you doing to veterans? That's the question, bitch.
Yes. Does everybody have a right to on the benefit that they've earned to come to the VA?
Veterans into VA.
Well, I think that's, let's go back to the question you just said. Does everybody have a right to be in a union? The answer is yes. Does everybody have a right to on the benefit that they've earned to come to the VA? But I can't force them in.
No, of course you can.
And
of course.
Okay, so in answer to this question, all of a sudden, everybody has the right to be in a union. But the executive order, you said, prevented them from being in the union because you agreed that it would somehow stop the veterans who are in a union from doing your fourth tier, whatever the fuck that is. So now you agree that everybody has the right to be in the union all of a sudden when you don't have an answer to say what you are doing to reach out to get more veterans, their veterans benefits. Notice, I pledge allegiance to the flag and my great president who's kicking the VA's ass. Dummies.
Of course you can't.
I'm missing maybe the point there. I apologize.
The point is there are a lot of veterans out there. I know this. I used to be chair of this committee who do not know what their benefits are. And it's our obligation to say to veterans all over this country, you put your life on the line to defend America. Congress has passed A, B, and C. We welcome you into the VA if you choose to come in.
Yeah, Senator, I think this is a great place for us to have an honest, a conversation because I'm concerned about this as well. And part of this goes back to how we're actually transitioning out of.
Well, if you're concerned about it, you would be able to tell him what you, as the chair of the VA, is doing about it. We don't need to converse with Bernie Sanders about it. You need to converse with the veterans who are out there who are not getting all of the care that is awarded to them for putting their lives on the line. No need to converse with Bernie Sanders. You have zero answer because you're not doing a goddamn thing. Talking about a conversation with Bernie Sanders about it. Converse with the fucking military people who are out there suffering.
Life on the line to defend America. Congress has passed A, B, and C. We welcome you into the VA if you choose to come in.
Yeah, Senator, I think this is a great place for us to have an honest, a conversation because I'm concerned about this as well. And part of this goes back to how we're actually transitioning out of DOD into VA.
That's one of the
And I
factors.
think that's one of the big things. And there's an honest conversation here. Is it properly placed right now?
Good.
Transition. So I'm wanting to do that. And we're doing outreach all the time with our vet centers and everybody else to let people know.
Okay. I think we could do a better job.
I agree.
We have to
I agree completely.
Okay. Question. You know, we talk about VA healthcare, which is what we're here to talk about, but we don't put it into a context. We are living in a nation which has a broken, dysfunctional, wildly expensive healthcare system. In your judgment, just out of curiosity, how does VA healthcare compare to healthcare out in the regular world for civilians?
I think in certain areas, just like we're out in the regular world, you have some hospitals that are performing exceptionally and you have some that are not. I think that's the problem that we have in our healthcare systems in general. I think this is something I said earlier. We can't separate out VA from the healthcare system as in a whole.
That's
And I
true.
think-
All right.
but sometimes we do that.
All right. Let me ask you this. My understanding is that we have, roughly speaking, a shortage of 2,500 doctors, 6,600 nurses. All right. What are you guys doing to bring in more doctors, nurses, social workers into VA where they're desperately needed?
Well, one, I want to move doctors that are not working with patients and move them into patient care. That would be a good start. Nurses as well. Also, I'd like to have help from the Congress as well. We need to actually look at our pay structures and our caps on our doctors and what we can pay them. It's very difficult to compete
Right.
when you're offering at some points hundreds of thousands of dollars less for
That's
someone
right.
to come work at the VA.
All right. Do you acknowledge, I agree with you. Do you acknowledge, though, that right now there is a shortage of doctors, nurses, social workers in the VA?
I acknowledge there's a shortage for everybody in the healthcare industry on those same issues.
But in the VA, I'm not criticizing. I'm
No,
just
no.
saying.
I mean, we're the same. We're the same as everybody else. That's why I said we are the same as every other healthcare system. We're struggling to recruit doctors, nurses, and others just as anybody else. And that's something we're constantly in outreach about. Sometimes it's helpful, sometimes not.
The Department of Defense has a medical school. You're aware of that? Uniformed Services Medical School, which does a very good job. Do you think that one of the problems we have overall is that we're not graduating enough doctors and nurses in America?
Yes.
All right. Do you think we can be expanding schools like the Uniformed Services Medical School to bring more people into DOD and VA healthcare?
It's an interesting concept. I think we got to go back to a deeper issue. Is why are more of our young people not going to school to be a doctor, or a nurse, or other things? I think
All right,
that's a bigger issue.
Fair enough. But that has to do with it. I'm a working class kid. I'm going to graduate medical school, $500,000 in debt, correct? Is the idea of entertaining programs saying you want to go to medical school, we're going to pay for your entire tuition, et cetera, to encourage you to get the medical school.
I think anything that we can look at to encourage that is possible. You already have that when you can go into medical and they'll pay for in DOD, they'll pay for your medical school.
But it sounds like we may want to expand that.
It's something that we can, I think it's something as an overall healthcare system, Senator, you and I probably agree on this, probably more than anyone else, that we've got to make sure that our pool of workers is adequate for all of our systems, not just the VA. And the healthcare system in our country is an issue that we have right now. And I think it's a bigger discussion. I appreciate you bringing it up, and it's something we look at.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Do you know what grapes do to your joints?
All right.
Watch
so,
this.
if
you want real joint pain relief,
there are some issues there in the VA that was brought up. Another reason why government by executive order is effed up is it most definitely is. So I think there is okay. I think this is the last thing that I want to share with you guys. Who remember? What can? Well, Liz, you're the only one who's commenting. So can you tell me what does this mean, or where did this statement come from? To tape off the scene of the slaughter, Steele got swole off bread and water. I don't know if they are F or what. Search a nigga down and grab him by his nuts. And on the other hand, without a gun, they can't get none. But don't let it be a black and a white one, because they'll slam your ass to the street top. Black police showing out for the white cop. Do you know where that originated? Z Sarah? I'm waiting, Z Sarah. Do you know where that originated from, Z Sarah? Oh, Liz, you're here. Possibly a rap song. Possibly. Yes, it is from NWA. Fuck NWA. Fuck the police. That is where that came from. You know, I let you hear the defiant lawyer on yesterday talk about black young men are disproportionately unalived by black cops. So if we think that this is something new, I think this CD came out in I don't know when this came out. I think it came out 87, 88-ish, 1987, 88-ish. So it is nothing new that these black cops, NWA, yes, NWA, it was NWA, fuck the police. That's okay. That's okay. Yeah, I was just curious. Now, this is nothing new, what is going on. So I let you hear the defiant lawyer talk about this yesterday because we all know, any of us who have black men in our families. We don't just put our head down and do the right thing as the Nina who wants us to believe that she's black and we're not bad people and we don't do crimes, as if you have to do crimes to have police encounters. That's why they call it racial profiling. So we don't have to pretend that everyone who has contact with the police have reasons to and has done something wrong to have contact with the police. Maybe that's why instead of trying the case in Memphis where these 3 cops got off, the 3 of the 5, the 3. It's another cop. I thought it was 5 cops. Yes, the 3 of the 5 who got off because they didn't plead guilty. 2 of these cops actually knew they were guilty and they pled guilty. But the other 3, hey, they was like, hey, we gonna go on the whole ride and shit. Maybe they'll take our case to Chattanooga. Maybe there'll be a change of venue and we won't have to be judged by our peers. See, our peers know what it is. And so they take it to Chattanooga, where, well, he must have been doing something. He was running from the police. He must have been that must have been a bad fella. Okay. So I'm going to leave you with this. Tyrese Nichols' mother. And I thank you guys for coming out. I appreciate your support. And I hope you guys have a fabulous weekend. And I am coming up on my next project, my crafting project I'm going to be doing. So I'm going to have a crafting and conversation coming up real soon. Because spring is coming and there's a lot of little projects that I'm doing personally for fixing up my little chill out space. So I'm going to take you guys along for the ride. So let me remove these bastards. I'm going to take you guys along for the ride. And if you want to join, you can join. And something curious happened to me on yesterday. And I thought that it was quite odd. Oh, so how many of you who are still here have heard people make examples of different foods from your region versus some other region? I was having a conversation with someone about pizza, Chicago pizza versus New York pizza. I wasn't having a conversation about food in general. I was having a pointed discussion about pizza. Chicago pizza versus New York pizza. It's not a new conversation. I'm pretty sure people have had this conversation many a day. Many a day. Have you guys ever heard people converse about the differences in these pieces? 88 or 89. Okay. Have you had, and you know, all the time. All the time. So I was kind of taken aback at a comment that someone chose to say, well, if the best pizza is the only thing that you have to say about the food from where you come from, you're not saying much. I wasn't saying much at all. I wasn't saying anything about the food about where I came from. I was comparing pizza. So it is like kind of funny how people think that they are getting one off when they, what are you mad about, bitch? Bitch, are you mad about something? Hey, Sandy. Yeah, especially pizza. Yeah, there's, I mean, we're just going back and forth and describing, no, ours is better. Well, if pizza is the only thing that you can say about where you come from, you're not saying much. I wasn't trying to say much. I was trying to compare pizzas. That's all I was trying to compare. These people are something else. Oh my God. So I hope you guys have a fabulous weekend. I appreciate all your support, all of you people. You're not even in NYC or Chi-Town. I was in Chi-Town as a younger child, and I have relatives in Chi-Town that I go back for. And if there was a meal that I say that is truly and purely a Chi-Town meal that I always look for, is the Italian beef. The Italian beef sandwiches. That is Chi-Town down. Like Philly is known for their Philly cheese steaks. Now, I'm sure people in Philly eat far more different food than cheesesteaks, but this is what they are known for. We're talking about specific foods, and my palate is larger than a pizza. I'm not bragging on a pizza like, oh, it's the end all be all of all the meals that I've ever eaten in Chicago. This is the meal of all meals. No, we were talking about specific items. Chicago is known for their Italian beef sandwiches, like Philadelphia is known for their Philly cheesesteak. Don't read too much into it, bitch, because I'm well traveled. That's all I gotta say. I want to try Chicago or New York pizza. Let me. It is something so good about that dang on Chicago pizza. And I don't even eat the Chicago pizza every time I go. I always go for the Italian beef, but that Chicago pizza, and it's made different. It's not the pizza crust. It does have a fine ground cornmeal at the bottom of their pizza. I grew up on pizza like that. It is not strange, and that is so strange to other people. Like cornmeal at the bottom of the pizza crust. Oh my God. Chicago pizza. If you ever get a chance to go to Chicago, make sure you check out some of that Chicago pizza, because it's different than the pizza that I find everywhere. Italian pizza, I love it. I love the Italian pizza too, but I don't like deep dish pizza. I know that Chicago got a thing about this deep dish. That came after I had left there, I guess. I'm not familiar. I'm just talking about a straight up. And they used to, they didn't cut their pizza in slices. They used to cut it in squares when I was growing up. They cut the pieces in squares. So that's another thing. Yum, deep dish. Now you said that that's what you think of when you're in Chicago. I love food. You work out good enough that you should have no problem. All of that running you do, girl, bye. If that's your problem, you definitely have the solution to your problem. It's weird what people will try to get on your back for. Girl, bye. Yeah. We're having a conversation about that goddamn pizza, and you trying to make it about somebody's whole existence. And if you don't sit your ass down, I played it. I paid it dust. So I hope you guys have a fantabulous, fantastic, very rewarding, relaxing, whatever you want out of your weekend. I hope you have it. I thank you guys for being here. I appreciate your support, and it's been a great week. I hope you guys have a relaxing or exciting weekend, as it were. Is there any good movies coming out? Oh, there was a movie. I saw The Accountant with Ben Affleck. If you guys haven't seen The Accountant, the number one, I prefer the original Accountant. Oh, that movie was so good. The second one, I didn't care for it. It wasn't it wasn't like the first one. I didn't care for it. It was familiar in some ways. You got to see a relationship, not a sexual or anything, a familiar relationship developed that you was uncovered in The Accountant one, but the whole storyline, I didn't like it. And then I saw, what was the other movie I saw? I saw the vampire one. What is the name of that movie? I saw Sinners. I saw that. That was a good movie. It was a good movie. All the extra stuff that they put on it, and no, it was just a good movie. It was a very good movie. And I saw The Amateur. If you guys haven't seen The Amateur, that is an excellent movie to check out as well. Let me see if what you guys are saying. Cornmeal, interesting. No, what about the Fabuloso cleaner? Tell me. Fabuloso apparently has bacteria in it. Thank you, Z Sarah. No work at all. I'm just trying to share some things that are interesting to me. Now, I like Fabulosos. I don't buy it on a regular basis. But one trick that I learned about Fabulosos that is fantastic, if you get it makes sense the ingredients are cheap. One thing that I found. I tried it, and it's fantastic. You get the big bottle of Fabulosos, and you take a awl or something, or something that's going to put pencil holes in it, and you put holes all throughout the bottle, every side, up and down the bottle, and then you flush your toilet, and you put the bottle in the toilet, and then every time your toilet flush, it will release some of the Fabuloso into your tank, which will then drain into your toilet, and it keeps it fresh, and it has that fresh smell in it. Have you guys seen that? I can't do Fabuloso. Too much perfume for me. Like I said, I get it every now and then. Stop. Let me see if I can find that demo. I saw that on YouTube, or it could have been. Oh, and do you guys know the FEMA chief has been fired? He also had a congressional hearing, and he said that he disagreed with the cuts that 45, 47 wanted to make at FEMA, and he has been fired. They want to close down FEMA, and they want the states to take over all the heavy lifting at FEMA. So he was fired. Now, there's breaking news. The New York Attorney General Letitia James takes action against Trump. I don't know what this could be about. Let me see. Okay, here we go. Let me share this with you guys. Scat Cat, it's not time for you to be on here, Cat. Let's check this out, a little bit of this, and I'll drop the link in the description box as well to let you see what Letitia James is suing 4547 administration for. This is on, is this David Pakman? I think this is the Brian Tyler Cohen page. So let's get into it.
I'm joined now by the Attorney General of New York, Letitia James. Thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you, Brian, for having me.
So I want to get into some new news that had just broken, and that is that you are co-leading an effort to sue the Trump administration over some changes that they've made as it relates to HHS and DOJ. But before we jump into that, there's a story that was kind of percolating that I want to ask you about. And there was concern a few months back that Donald Trump had given a heads up to before his announcement as it relates to tariffs, that announcement was going to be handed down, and that resulted in some accusations of insider trading. We of course know that Donald Trump's Department of Justice, that Donald Trump's FBI, his SEC isn't going to investigate possible crimes committed by Donald Trump or any Republicans. But as this kind of relates to the stock market, is that something that your office might have jurisdiction in? Is it something that your office is looking into?
So as you know, Brian, we have jurisdiction over the Martin Act. And so we investigate market manipulations, and we basically police Wall Street. And so this is an area that we are looking into. The question is, in the past, we've had partners on the federal level, federal agencies that work with our office. And as you know, those federal agencies, unfortunately, are now beholden to the President of the United States and do not work for the general public. So it's an issue that we are considering. And at this point in time, there's really nothing more to say on that matter.
You can say no if I'm asking a question that you can't answer, but is there a way, hypothetically speaking, is there a way, if there is no cooperation with the SEC, for example, that New York has enough tools unto itself to be able to conduct an investigation or proceed with any charges?
It all depends upon the facts. And as you know, I don't operate in hypotheticals.
Okay. All right. So let's get into what you're doing right now, which is leading this coalition of 19 other state attorneys general in suing the Trump administration. Can you speak about what this effort is in regards to?
Hi, I'm Rachel, and
Hold
for
on.
my science
1
project,
second.
I'm talking to my friend Steve about.
So HHS, under Secretary Kennedy, has engaged in a brazen assault on public health. Its mission is to protect and promote public health, and they're doing the opposite. They are dismantling Head Start, dismantling vaccinations. They are dismantling the 9/11 health program. They're removing doctors. They're dismantling lead poisoning for children. They're dismantling protections for firefighters. And the list goes on and on. They're dismantling opioid funding at a time when we are seeing increases in addiction. And SAMHSA.
I think she means opioid opioid funding, in the fact that they are taking not supporting having Narcan in schools and police offices, fire offices, and paramedic, which has saved many alive, and they are cutting. They are cutting the ability for people to go to rehab for opioid addiction. That's what she means when they are cutting opioids. She means the programs that help people who are addicted to opioid.
The suicide prevention hotline, they are dismantling it. And they're laying off 20,000 workers from health and hospitals services. And it, again, is this frontal attack on public health under administration, which unfortunately does not believe in science and does not believe in facts.
So what is the goal?
Okay, so I dropped the link in there. I just saw the story. I haven't finished the story. I just happened to pull out to see if I could find the Fabuloso toilet thing. Okay. Funny that I'm looking for the toilet thing, and over here to the right, is AI the algorithm reading my mind? The 10-year toilet cleaner. I don't know what that is. I'm not clicking on it. Let me see if I can find it. The Fabuloso toilet tank hack. Let's see if I can find it. Oh, here it is right here.
Trick to keep your bathroom smelling great 24 hours a day. You will no longer have to spend all your liquid disinfectant pouring it directly into the toilet. To do this, we will only need to put the pot of disinfectant right in the toilet tank. Then we are going to measure how far the water level reaches. Next, we turn on the stove, and with the help of a fork we are going to heat it well, since with it we will make several holes in the pot, right on the line where the water level arrived. Once this is done, we place the pot back in the toilet tank and let it rest for a few minutes. Little by little you will notice how the disinfectant will mix with the water in the tank. When time passes and you flush the bowl, only a small amount will come out, so your sanitizer will last up to a month and not be wasted when the water level rises. Trick to keep your bathroom smelling great 24 hours a day. You will no longer have to spend all your liquid disinfectant.
Okay, I'm gonna have to try that because I poked holes all throughout it. So I poked holes all throughout it, and it didn't last a month at all. So that makes sense. You fill it up to the water line. The water line will continue rising until it meets the product, and a whole lot won't come out. It makes sense. So if you, but Liz says she can't stand Fabuloso's Z Sarah. If anybody on the replay is watching, try that little trick out. This is clever. I'll give it a try. You can, and maybe you can give it a try with your pine Sol. Buy a well. You're going to have a bottle that is tall enough to reach your water level line. Yeah, try it out. It's supposed to keep your bowl at least clean after you clean it. You can't have a filthy bowl and think that you're just going to pop that. No, you got to keep your bowl clean. You know, you have to still do your regular bowl cleaning. And so check it out. I thought that was a good trick. All right, guys. Hey, Sincere Saida. I was on my way out of the show. I hope you have a fabulous weekend. You can watch the replay, and I hope all of you guys have a fabulous weekend. Saida, is there anything else, anything that you wanted to say before we leave? Let me know. If not, I'm on my way out. Let me see if Saida has anything other than salutations that she came to give. I think that's it. All right, guys. No, have a great weekend. You as well, Saeed. And if I see you live, you know I will visit your channel. Let me drop Saida's link in the chat. Let me drop Z Sarah's link in the chat as well. Let me drop you ladies' link in the chat before I leave. You guys go over and visit Z Sarah. This is her link. Hey, Z Sarah, what happened to Stump Down? Did somebody get him, or did he just? I know sometimes he just takes a break. But what happened? Where's Stump Down? That's what I want to know. Where's Stump Down? I hope everything is. How come I can't go to your page? Why can't I go to your page? That's weird. Oh, because I'm in StreamYard, duh. I'm sorry, Saida. I'm like, what the heck is going on? I don't have the option to go to her channel. Okay, here is Sincere Saida's channel. Go over there if you need some peace in the LBC. She cracks me up. Peace in the LBC. Saida, I had a quiz up. Let's see. Saida, you still here? Don't go. Let's see if Saida can answer this question. Here's Sincere Saida's chat page. Sincere Saida, are you still here? Let me see. Okay, Saida, let me remove the kitty cat. Tell me, where do you know this and where did it come from? I'm going to remove your comment. I want to know, do you know this and can you tell me where did it come from? Doom, 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 doom. Doom, 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 doom. Doom, 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 doom. Doom, 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 doom. Where's Saida? Don't be copying and pasting it and Googling it. Where are you, Saida? Saida, your homework is to go on YouTube or some. Here, let me drop the link for you. I want you to go here, and I want you to listen. Oh, and speaking of which, I didn't. I'm going to close you out with the reason why I even brought this up. I'm not gonna close you out with any music. I'm gonna close you out with this. But let me give Saida this first. Saida, until you do your homework, you are on punishment because if all that peace in the LBC and you can't tell me where this come from, you're on punishment, Saida. I need you to review your homework paper. Here is your homework paper, Saida. Go over there and get busy. The lyrics are familiar. Okay, guys, I'm gonna end with this. Shout out. Even though there were some things that were, we saw what happened to this young man, and it is unfortunate that it is okay. It is okay by a jury, not of his peers, to let these officers get away with this. So I hope you guys have a fabulous weekend. I'm going to play out on this video. Thank you for your support. And each one want to share me out, whatever. I'll see you guys around the YouTube streets.
The woman that we call Robin Wells, who this family has affectionately adopted as Mama Ro. All right. Please receive Mama Ro. All right, all right.
First of all, I'd like to say thank you to each and every one of you who are coming out today to be here with our family. Yesterday was a devastating blow to our family. What we heard is not something that we wanted to hear. But was I shocked or surprised? No, I wasn't. Those defense attorneys were allowed to go in front of the judge and basically tell the judge that even though this happened in Shelby County, that the people of Shelby County was not smart enough to look at the evidence and make an impartial decision. So they were allowed to go into another county where I feel that county, Hamilton County, didn't give a rat's butt about my son. They were allowed to come here and look at the evidence, but they didn't see the evidence. What they saw was a black man running from the police. What they saw was a black man running from the police. They didn't care that my son was afraid for his life. They didn't care that even though they're not from here, they didn't realize that people were going around dressing up as undercovers and carjacking people. They didn't know that because they weren't from here. So those people were allowed to come in here, look at the evidence, and deny the evidence and give out a not guilty plea on each count. Yesterday, I didn't know what to think. I didn't know what to think. We have gotten so much injustice from this city.
Say that.
That is ridiculous.
Say that.
My son was murdered.
That's right.
By five Memphis police
That's right.
officers. He was murdered.
Murder.
And 3 of them got off. Because those jurors decided not to look at the evidence, but only to look at the fact that my son was a black man running from the police. You know, on the night that my son was murdered, a lot of you don't know, but I felt my son's death in my stomach. I didn't realize all that pain that I was feeling, but it was my son's life being taken away from me that night. And when they read that verdict yesterday, that was them taking my son's life away from me again. Yes, it was.
Justice for Tyree. Justice for Tyree. Justice for Tyree.
There's no words right now. I'm so numb right now. I don't even know how to feel right now. But I'm going to say this. The district attorney's office, the prosecutors, they did a great job. My son's fate lied in those juries, and they failed my son.
That's right.
They failed my son. One thing I can say, I don't wish this pain on nobody. No one, not even my worst enemy. But karma.
Come on now.
We all know that word karma, right? It's coming. Karma is coming. Because what they did yesterday was not a good thing. So I thank all of you guys for coming out here because it's raining real bad now. And I don't want nobody to get sick. So thank you so much for coming out. We appreciate all of you guys, and I tell you that if it wasn't for the community of Memphis and y'all prayers, I would not be standing here today. So thank each and every one of you for following this story and putting out the truth. Yes. Thank you so much.
Justice for Tyree! Justice for Tyree! Justice for Tyree!
Tyree!